All systems are go, and it all looks, hopefully, it sounds good.
It starts.
It should start. Let me make sure. There we go. It should start. Yes, and there's sound and everything. So we have liftoff, people. Thank God for that. And hopefully, I get no issues whatsoever. We have a good watch along for the next. I reckon we're here for another 2 hours between now and everything, and we have a good evening and we have a fun evening. Hopefully, that's what we have. I'm hoping. I'm genuinely. I think we're gonna. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be pretty damn good. We've obviously got this. Then we have the co-main, which is Nathan Heeney. And then obviously we are into Itauma versus Jermaine Franklin. I stand by what I've been saying throughout the course of the build-up to this fight, that I think Itauma is going to win it, and he's going to win it probably early. I stand by that he is probably too heavy. Jermaine Franklin, not I was going to go Fabio Wardley, not Moses Itauma. I think Itauma's weight is fine, but I reckon that he's going to be a little bit too heavy, Jermaine Franklin. It does have me worried when he comes in that heavy. How good is he actually going to be? It does have me kind of worried. How ambitious is he really going to be? I reckon he'll try and see what he can do in the first couple of rounds. And just while we're here, this fight on screen, obviously I can't show it to you guys, but so far, I have to say, I have to big Frank Warren up for this, because this whole card has been crazy. Has anyone seen in the chat the previous fight? I think Willie is winning as well. I think he is. I think from the first bell, he's looked the sharper. You forget he is the younger, quite significantly. He's a couple of years younger. You just don't really. He looks older and he's been around a long time. But did anyone see that Shaquille Thomas versus Brad Paul's fight? Honestly, that fight was crazy. Like, it wasn't like anything special the first 9 rounds. Or the first 8 rounds were not anything special. I was watching, I was thinking, this Thomas guy looks good. That's the first time I've seen him. And I was impressed. And then he goes and he gets stopped. Like, what? It was just so out of the run. It's so against form and out of the run of play. I was like, Brad Paul's just won. It was honestly, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. Okay. Do you know what I'm going to do? Oh, that's made it worse. I'm trying to think. Right, I'm trying to think here. So I have the chat on, but I'm only after realizing the last time I did a live of any kind, I had the microphone pointing in a different direction, I had it pointing up, which I was since told was incorrect. It's much better like this, and it sounds a bit better like this. But the problem is, right, it's kind of blocking the side where I read the chats. So, a big up to Adam. How are you, my friend? I hope you're keeping well, man. How's everything going, man? How's the job and all that? Are you still studying? How's everything going, man, with that? Hope you're keeping very good. I am okay. Bit of a design flaw. Howard Foster up to his old tricks. I originally, yeah, I did think that when he waved it off. I was thinking, really, again? But there was no real arguments from the Thompson corner, and he looked in a bad way. So, upon reflection, I'd say no. I'd say it's all right. Too busy, just too busy. But man, that's a good thing. Man, we like being too busy, as long as we like what we're doing. If we're too busy, we don't like what we're doing. Yeah, that can be a bit, you know what. But man, when you're doing something you want to do, it's good. At least I think that. Like, that's why whenever boxing is busy, oh my god, Mike and the acoustics sound great. Well, thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Yeah. Do I know Hatman? Well, define know Hatman. So, like, I've been chatting to Hatman for probably 6 years. I was in his Facebook group when that was going, and we both had Facebook back in the day. I've never met him in person. I've still no idea what he looks like. And it's funny, right? People always, because I've been on his channel and we did the Boxing Brotherhood for a while and stuff like that, people just assume I know what he looks like. I don't. I do not know what he looks like. I've genuinely no idea. So he's a very private man. I have the utmost respect for Hatman. I think he is largely one of the reasons that I'm doing what I'm doing now. Largely, Ade has been just, the best thing ever. Hatman was the first channel I ever listened to. That was the first channel. I remember it clearly. I tell you this, maybe I've told the story before, but I remember looking for highlights of Klitschko Pulev and finding his post-fight review, because back then he just used to take a clip of the fight and just put it as the thumbnail. And I just assumed, oh, that's the fight. And it wasn't. But when I heard him talk, I was like, I'm going to keep listening to this guy. What was I going to say? You've got your work cut out for your next couple of months. Next week, we have Chisora. Yeah, man. Like literally, right? I was thinking myself the other day, right? Every week in April, there'll be one of these. Every weekend, there'll be a watch along, because every fight in April warrants one, because we have Chisora, then we have Fury, then we have Smith, then we have Coley. Then I think we've got the first week is the Benavidez Zerdo. Then we have Wardley. Then we have, I think, Allen. Yeah, literally, I actually think every weekend between now and the end of May, I've got a watch along. I actually think that every weekend between now and the end of May, I've got a watch along. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. That's crazy. So every week I get to play commentator every week. Right now, based upon their last performances, if the Anderson who turned up against whoever he fought last, and we get the Adelai who turned up against Hrgovic, I think Adelai wins that fight. I do. I think he wins it. I think he wins that fight, absolutely. Fabio Wardley and the fans have Hutchinson winning every round. Yeah, I can't really argue with that. No, he's looked good at cruiser. He really has. I did see Benavidez was saying that he cut something like 40 pounds to get down to light heavyweight. The two of them are basically, they started like not together at the same time, but they were both basically touted around about the same time. So, man, I'm all for that fight. What's the next event you're going to? Well, I'm still thinking of it, right? I wouldn't mind going to France to that Akoli Yoka show. I genuinely wouldn't mind doing it just for the experience. So I could conceivably do it, or I could do the watch along. Either or, like I'm kind of happy either way. I haven't priced hotels. I have priced Eurostars. It's a little over £100, which is it's fine. So we might do that. I can't see Fury. I can see Fury getting dropped, but still winning the fight. Yeah, I mean, he's been in there with lesser punchers who dropped them. Absolutely. Big up to Jason as well, by the way. Jason Hanna for the £5. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Every little bit helps. Yeah, man, I could actually see it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. There's something. I'm not betting against Tyson Fury. You understand? I'm not. I don't think he's going to lose. But I can't get it out of my head that he won't have a hard time. That he'll look a little bit old, or he'll look out of sorts, or as you say, I could see him touching down. I genuinely could. I could actually see Tyson Fury touching down in that fight, because again, like, he's been dropped by lesser punchers. He always recovers, but the age, the inactivity, I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't put a bet on him winning Makhmudov, but I wouldn't rule him out having some success. The French crowd look mental on TV when the UFC goes there. That's actually another reason why I'm thinking of going. And I just think, you know what? The Eurostar train will drop me smack bang in Paris. It's walking distance to the arena, and I can just stay in an Ibis or something like that over there in Paris. So I was low key. There, speak of him, Lawrence Cody's on screen there with Dev Sahni right now. So, like, there's a part of me that's just like, F it. Will I just go? Because Ade will just bring me backstage. He said that, but he's done that before me before. And I'm just like, will I just say the hell with it and just get the train to Paris and spend a few days? Because I need to get out of London, and I don't want to go back to Ireland. If you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I need a break away from these two countries, somewhere just completely. And I've been to Paris before. I haven't been in a long time, but I've been there before and I liked it. It's a nice city. I'm older now, and I think that I'd have a little bit more appreciation for kind of, the things that are there, When I was there, I was a bit younger, and I was like literally like looking at some of the food. I'm just like, any kebab shops anywhere, anything like that, So I think I'd enjoy it. I say this carefully. I do not bet against Tyson Fury, but I could see a Kevin. That right there, I can't see, because McBride was a serious alcoholic. Even in the going into my time, he was a serious alcoholic. Just so you know, I've heard stories about Kevin McBride that they literally had to, keep tabs on him during fight camp for that. because he would literally, where his training camp was, he was staying in a hotel and it was above a bar. And they literally, like, people had to sleep in the room with him, like some of his trainers, because he would just literally in the middle of the night just be like, oh, I'm going out for a run. So I can't see it being quite like that. But I think that depending on how bad Fury looks, he may question, can he actually do this? He actually may. What? What's your thoughts on Prograis pulling? Has he? No. Has he really? Really? Or are you trolling with that? Has he genuinely? Has he really? Hang on. Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis. Has he? It says no. Yeah. Regis Prograis. Yeah, no, he hasn't. Yeah, no, it says there he shut those rumors down. Holy man. Nearly gave me a heart attack there. Yeah, nearly gave me a heart attack with that one. I was like, what? Bloody hell. Bloody hell, man. Don't be doing that. Not that it's a great fight, but I was just thinking, like, what? How did I miss that? Big up to Matt Borgson for the $5 US. Thank you so much, my friend. Malik Scott needs to adjust his training program for fighters. Lack of altitude, too much weight training takes away boxer stamina. Yeah, and listen, I am very much in the team old school when it comes to boxing and training. Do I think that, weights, a bit of S&C has a place in boxing? Yes, but not anything near the same extremes as we have today. And I think that this is the problem, right? Like, they look at old trainers like, they're some sort of dinosaur in their approach and how they do things. But in reality, fighters want to train with a lot of them, and they actually are able to get a lot out of the fighters, and they're doing old school tactics. And I think that that is the real way to do it. I mean, I really do find it amazing when you hear people say stuff like, oh, the training program I'm on, it's word for word. It's exactly the same program that Premier League footballers are on. Brilliant. You're a boxer. See how that works. And then they're absolutely, you'd swear they smoked about, 50 packs of cigarettes before they came, because they're just, yeah, because boxing is very different. I remember the first time I ever body sparred. And back then, like, I was actually training to do a couple of 10Ks and working my way up to a half marathon. So my run times were pretty damn impressive back then. Like, and I still can, my run times are still impressive today. I did 10K today. But back, say, like about 12 years ago, it was pretty good, right? And I remember literally my legs after only about 2 rounds turning to jelly. And I was like, what is going on here? Because I hadn't felt that tired in years. I just wasn't expecting it, because it's just so different. Doesn't take away stamina. No, I wouldn't say it takes away stamina. I'd agree with you on that, but I think that if you say, like, pack on the weight, too much weight, your body might fill with a bit of lactic acid, and I think that might play a role in just not necessarily making your stamina worse per se, but it's not going to make you less fit, if that makes sense. Lucas, thoughts on Max Verstappen's displeasure with the new regulations? Well, it's not just Max Verstappen who's displeased with them. It's a lot of drivers. I am not a driver, but I hate them. I think it's ruining the sport. I absolutely despise them. They need to just throw them out. They're not fit for purpose. They need to just get rid of them. I hate them. Like, what flipping moron thought this would be a good idea? And the drivers were predicting this 2-3 years ago. This is what's going to happen, and it flipping did. So I hate them. I absolutely hate them. I never want. I just don't get it. I just don't get why. And it's so bad now that F1 are censoring themselves when they're going and cutting off boards, and they're getting community notice on X by saying, no, they're just pulling away because they don't want to see the car losing speed on a straight, which it's not meant to do. So yeah, I just think it's awful. I think it's awful, and they need to fix something. With that, what do you think of Catterall's interview with Ben? Yeah, I had a look at that. I actually sent Adam a message about that, because obviously he was beating himself up about it and stuff like that. Look, it happens, and I know in that scenario, like, it's easy for all of us to say, like, it's very easy for me to sit here and critique Conor Ben. It's very easy for me to do that, right? When you're being paid and you are being told, interview him, he may very well have said, these are the questions you're allowed to ask me. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, right? There's questions that you want to ask, and they are telling you outright, you're not asking these questions. Hence the reason someone like a Simon Jordan, when he didn't even ask about Wilder, he just brought Fury up. You saw him absolutely lose it because Simon Jordan just knows, right, the rules don't apply to me, because that's the way Simon Jordan is. Adam Catterall, I think, was just like, right, I got to be professional. This is what they want to ask me. And yeah, he got flack for it. But look, it happens. It happens. Look, Conor Ben is what Conor Ben is. And I just find it crazy now. He's been having a few digs at Matchroom. It's like, it's just crazy. It's like you're biting the hand that fed you. You're literally, it's just, honestly, Conor Ben is just, yeah. We're going to get to the stage. And unfortunately, and I hope it doesn't happen, I really hope the three of them stick around because we need them. But it would take something like that. It genuinely would, for them to actually do a 180 and say, yeah, we messed up. And I hope it doesn't happen. I hope, because I truthfully think Max, if he was winning, would still be saying the same. I think that if Lewis was winning, he'd be saying the same. And I think if Alonso was winning, he'd be saying the exact same. They don't like these regulations. No one does. No one likes them. And I think deep down, even the Mercedes drivers don't like them. No one likes them. They've completely stuffed up. They just need to get rid of them. And I hope Lewis, Max, and Fernando Alonso don't leave. I really do. But it would take something like those names saying, that's it, I'm done, for them to realize, messed up with that one. And by the way, there's 77 people in the building. If you could hit the like button. We want to get this stream seen, all right? We've only got 15 likes. Come on, let's get this stream. Let's get the stream recommended. We've only got 15 likes out of 70 plus in the building. Weight training might be skewed. Oh, I'm looking over there and it's on the screen. Weight training might be skewed to decrease endurance because a lot of people bulk which means to eat in a calorie surplus when weightlifting. Of course, you put the weight on, you reduce your endurance. I just think that with boxing, when you do see fighters do that, and funny enough, like when you see fighters who pack on a load, look, put like this, when I used to box, right, and you do like spars, you do body spars, the most bulky fighters, and it was weird, right, because I remember years ago, it's about 7-8 years ago now, sparring a guy, and he was big, like he was like not jacked, but big, stocky, big muscle, stuff like that. And I remember we did a body spar, and he tried loading up and swinging. And by the end, he just went like, how's my power? And I was like, well, it's not great. Like, I mean, there was, yeah, you're hitting me in the arm and stuff like that, but there wasn't anything. And my friend actually sparred him and said, yeah, the same. He's like, he can't punch. And he's like, but look at how big I am. I was like, that doesn't mean you're going to hit hard. So you know what the cheeky little what did, right? The next time we sparred, he was hitting a little bit harder. And I was thinking like, oh, he's improving a little bit, because his shots, they weren't more powerful per se, but they were stinging. Like, he was hitting us, say, like on the Monday, and on the Thursday, he's hitting me the same shots. And I'm like, oh, these sting a little bit. So what's going on here? You're hitting harder. He wasn't hitting harder at all. He just went out and got 10-ounce gloves and started sparring in smaller gloves to make himself appear like he was hitting harder. I was like, mate, are you serious? Really? And us here in the big heavy 16s, and you're using 10 ounces? Really? So, yeah. That's what some people will do, man. Typically, yeah, well, like, I mean, like, Usyk's reasonably low body fat, but he's not like, a 0% shredded fighter or anything like that. Like, he's not out of shape, certainly not. Yeah, Willie is boxing well. I know I should be talking about the boxing. Apologies. We always end up talking about other things, don't we? But once we get into the main event, we're good. And this fight's not been bad either. Willie Hutchinson's been boxing this kid's ears off, Ezra Taylor. But yeah, we always going to be, yes, there will be commentary for the fight. Don't be worrying. What always ends up happening is, I love talking. I love answering questions. So whenever one question leads into another, and then leads into a story, and it leads into something. But yes, we will, of course, talk about the boxing sooner rather than later. And I love F1, and I love answering F1 questions. F1 has died, man. The thrill of qualifying, oh man, it's awful. It's even the racing's not amazing. Like, they're making it out as though it's crazy. It's not really. It's not anything better. But the qualifying is just, I love qualifying. because you see that. You see drivers on the edge, and you're thinking, and you see spins in qualifying when fast drivers are pushing to the max. Charles Leclerc comes to mind, and they lose the car, because they push too hard. Things like that. It's exciting. Now, I think even and here's the thing, right? You go through a fast corner, and you see that driver has balls on him. He's gone through full throttle. Oh, he's lost the car. Whereas now it's like, oh, that fire's gone through fast. Oh, it's clipping. Oh, he's slowing down. Brilliant. There we go. It's awful. They've stuffed it up big time. When they robbed Hamilton, yeah. Listen, I'm no Hamilton fan. I was always more of a Verstappen fan, but yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't ideal what they did. They messed all that up just purely for clicks, for theatrical value. That's literally what they did. And big up to Adam for the £20. Thank you so much, my friend. No question, but I'll always read your question anyway. Always. But thank you anyway for the £20, man. It does not go unnoticed. Thank you so much. As I said, I'll always read your question anyway, but I'll read it faster next time. That's the deal. And we're on the sparkling water again, people. From Scotland's Orchard Hills. There we go. That's what you call a wild Saturday night, isn't it? Wild Saturday night. What are you drinking? You having a beer? You having like a little glass of whiskey? Just no. Sparkling water, mate. Man, thanks. I do appreciate it, man. It doesn't go unnoticed. It really doesn't. Sorry, I was just seeing a swing and a miss there. Liam, thoughts on Tank Davis? I think he's one of the most overrated fighters this generation. His best win is still Pedraza, and that was years ago. That was 9. Was it 9 years ago? It was a lot. Yeah, it was about 9 years, a long time ago. And Pedraza was horribly weight trained in that fight, by the way. That's actually crazy. Yeah, because he has good names on there, like Ryan Garcia, Leo Santa Cruz, but they're all at the wrong weight. Or they have catch weights and rehydration clause put in place. So the problem with Tank Davis is I think he is a very talented fighter. But, I mean, talk about effort. I mean, I'm not even talking about never mind the outside the ring stuff. I mean, it's awful what he does outside the ring, but not even attempting to fight Lomachenko when these are both champions. And just everything about him is just, ugh. And that's what's so frustrating, because I've always liked watching him, the fighter. But he's 30 years old now or more, and he's done literally nothing. He has literally done nothing, and he has no ambition, and God knows what he's going to do next. And God knows what he's going to do next outside the ring, because he is a liability. That guy is a absolute liability. What does Ting say? I used to always go for a what when it's on the undercard? Hang on a second, I'm trying to cantonise his own switch, but not gonna lie, missing out on some of Frank's heavyweight scenes. Well, I have to say, this show has been pretty good. I've enjoyed this show. Before I went live, I was enjoying it. I thought it was fun. And yeah, Frank has some really good shows coming up. And actually, look, there's Riyadh logos in the ring. So he's obviously not. So hang on. Riyadh season is still in the ring on the ring logos. So are Turkey and Frank besties again? And by the way, 95 in the building. If you could consider hitting the like, hitting the subscribe, and hitting the notification bell, but particularly hit the like button if you could. You want to get the stream seeing. We're up to 28 likes now. Come on, I know these guys can do it. Get it close. We need to get it close to 50, lads. If we can get close to 50, I'm glad Hutchinson is on a big fight tonight. He's underrated. Do you know what? Before I went live, I caught the first 3 rounds. And as soon you see it straight up, you see it with him straight off the bat, don't you? Like, there's a talent there. There is. You can see it straight off the bat when he's in there. And he's good shot selection. He's decent defense. There's a lot of good to like about Willie Hutchinson, the fighter. There really is. And I think he's decent power as well. So I think he can do things. I remember when he turned pro with David Hay, and then he got ironed out by that Lennox Clark guy. That was at 168 pounds. He never looked good up until really he fought Craig Richards. And now you're like, oh my God, this guy is really good. I'm not listening to the commentary, but they're all bigging up Willie Hutchinson, are they? George Russell is such an insufferable guy, so fake. I always liked George Russell, but yeah, there's lately he's been a little bit more, unpleasant to say the least. Thoughts on Smith versus Morell? Yeah. Well, Dave Morell hasn't looked particularly good at 175 pounds, whereas Callum Smith, with the exception of Beterbiev, has. With that fight out of the equation, he's looked really good at 175. And that fight he had against Bush, that's the thing. Him and Buatsi had that absolute war. Great fight. But Buatsi has looked a shell of himself in his subsequent fight. How do we know that Callum Smith won't show signs of damage? Because, yeah, Buatsi took a shellacking in that fight. Callum Smith didn't, come through unscathed either. So that's going to be that's going to be a fun one. You got Adam there saying he probably picks Morell. Have I lost weight? Well, I don't know. I'm not in terrible shape, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the beard. Maybe it's because the beard's gone. And the beard didn't go by choice, people. The beard, it wasn't like I decided one day shave it. The beard didn't go by choice. The beard, we had a bit of an accident. We had a bit of, I say accident. We had me attempting to style it went bad. So I had to get rid of it. Well, I saw that comment there. I meant I pick Smith. Oh, you meant to say you pick Smith. I'm edging towards Smith. I do. He probably will win, but it's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be a fun fight. I actually looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good fight. Yeah, he's got his fingers in everywhere now. He's taking a fair portion of my monthly spends. DAZN, Ring Magazine. Oh, you're sub to Ring Magazine. I'm not actually. I'm not. What's it like? I haven't actually subbed to it. I haven't like done any of that. Is it any good? The magazines? I saw Oscar saying that he low-key regrets selling it. And I have to say, right, Ring Magazine, it's very pro-Saudi. It's very, if you're not associated with Ring Magazine or have fights, they don't really care, which it kind of, I'm like, mate, you're meant to be the Bible of boxing. So like, I'm not expecting you to cover shows, small hall UK shows and Ring Magazine, fair enough. But like, if there's boxing news and you aren't covering it, it's just like, what? You're the Bible of boxing, but if it's not like kind of Turkey affiliated and stuff, we don't care. I'm like, man, it's not for me, man. Thoughts on Oscar and Lando as drivers? How good do you think they are? I think Lando is probably the worst world champion we've had since Jacques Villeneuve. Seriously. I think Oscar choked. I think Oscar's better. I think Lando is quick, but he doesn't have that dog in him. There's a lot. I think Oscar's got the higher ceiling. Lando is going to be a one and done world champion, and that's my way of looking at him. I found it really nostalgic, but they are very biased. Cover arts are brilliant, though. Yeah, they love bringing up the fights from the past. They love doing that. And yeah, as you said, like they are super biased. Like Max Kellerman, it's just, yeah. I mean, I miss the HBO days even more. And I don't know what happened to Max Kellerman. He was so good on HBO, but he's been just awful on every other platform. He's awful on ESPN. He's awful now with Ring and stuff. It's just, nah, man. Maybe it was because he had Jim Lampley there. And maybe it was a real case of, even though he was established, you don't want to say stupid stuff in front of Jim Lampley, or Howard Letterman, RIP to him. And maybe he just kind of, kept this eccentric side to him in check. Because, yeah, Max Kellerman on there has been, yeah, he's not been good. Shout out for Willie. Absolutely. And he's won that fight. He's definitely won that. Max's fall-off's insane. I don't think it's a fall-off. I think it's just a bad car mixed with horrible regulations and demotivated Max Verstappen at that. I think that's all it is. I don't think, put it like this, right? If the regulations had stayed the same, Max Verstappen, in my opinion, wins the world championship this year. If it had been the same as last year, as last season ended, Max Verstappen world champion this year, no ifs or buts. Yeah, man said Walsh is like a prime Roy Jones. That's just like, it's just, what? It's just like, really, I'd going up there and telling what's his name, JL Pataya, oh, you're now undisputed. And JL Pataya is like, no, I'm not. It's just mad. It's cringe. Simon Jordan told Willie he was going to get beat. Yeah, Simon Jordan doesn't play around. That's actually I'm going to bring that. That's actually crazy when you say it like that. Yes. Charles on 0 and Lando on 1 is crazy because out of the two, who's more talented? It ain't Lando. Flipping 8. That's actually a crazy stat, actually, when I see that. Lando Norris, world champion. Charles Leclerc isn't. And Charles Leclerc, that's actually crazy. That's actually, yeah. I'm getting to like Kimi a lot more. I'm getting to like Kimi a lot more. He was out of his depth a bit last season. He really was. And I completely agree with Max Verstappen kicking that journalist out because of the way he described it and stuff like that. But really, Kimi cost Max the world championship. It wasn't the George Russell crash. It was Kimi, going like a torpedo into the side of Max. Let's have a listen to these scorecards. Willie Hutchinson showed the art of boxing, did he? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge Betsy Kovac scores it 99-91.
Damn, it's wide.
Judges Steve Gray and Gene Lane are in agreement. They both scored the same, 98-92. All for your winner by unanimous.
So we know who this is going to.
And now the WBA Continental and the WBO Light Heavyweight Champion.
There we go. Yeah. It's strange to hear Ade on there, but I suppose they work for the Zone instead of the promoters. Well, Ade is contracted by the Zone. He's not contracted by Queensberry. What's your thoughts on the whole British bias thing and Max designing that? Well, I kind of touched on that. Yeah, I tend to agree with what he... Listen, right? The way he explained it, the journalist asked them about like losing the world, the whole thing, and then laughed at it. Yeah, F that guy. That's not professionalism. That's just some little wimp who thinks he's the hard man. So I don't blame Max for doing that. And it's true. Max said it'd be like, right, so like if you see like IFL and stuff like that, you don't see, and I know Coogan and all them don't do anything. I get that, but like this guy was laughing, and we can't see that. Max can, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. Yeah, get rid of that guy. He's not being professional. Why should Max? Get through the side job. There we go, man. There we go. Labrian Clod. I hope I'm saying that right. It's definitely Irish. It's definitely Irish. It's definitely an Irish name. The guy you said 6'4" in the chat. Someone say that. I don't mean that. I could tell it wasn't 6'4". It definitely wasn't that. I think it was better when the guys could get a break because promoters had their own broadcast teams. What do you mean? Like, as in more people had a chance? Well, I mean, you could argue that, but like, I mean, like Matchroom, it's very Matchroom heavy with the team, and it's all just jobs for the boys. So like, do people really get a big break if you think about it like that? As I said, like Jamie Ward is very, very good, but he's Matchroom contracted, as are pretty much everyone. So again, do you really get that much of a break? Adam Smith has gone from taking a break to doing every show on the Zone. Yeah, he's their lead commentator now. Which, listen, I maintain that I've never been Adam Smith's biggest fan as a commentator. I don't know what he's like as a pundit. I think that he's good in some capacity. He's great for the dramatic moments and stuff like that. He's very good. And he doesn't miss a beat. He's very passionate. There's a lot of good with Adam Smith. But I think that he's definitely an improvement from the Mike Costellos of the world. I never understood. I never got the appeal of Costello. I really didn't. I remember in the fight camp when he was getting ready to make his debut, they were making it out as though we were getting like Jim Lampley or Jim Ross or something like that. And I was like, it's only Mike Costello. Like, he's done BBC 5 Live for years, and he's really got a voice for radio. as opposed to TV. And it's just, yeah, Costello wasn't great at all. I never understood it. I didn't understand the appeal of Costello. It just, for me, it was just like, okay, he's there, but you needed a strong backup commentary team because Costello, and with Adam Smith, he is good. Like, I think that the commentary scene has got kind of so, I don't want to say bad, because I think Andy Clark is quite good, but there's not as much depth in there. Commentators that I loved were like Jim Watt, Jim Lampley, a lot of Jims, but I love Jim Watt. And I think it's just such a shame that he's not commentating anymore. It's been a decade since he's commentated last night. It's crazy because his voice was just associated with Sky Sports Boxing. And he was brilliant and he was unbiased, which people moan nowadays they're too biased. Well, they moan about Jim Watt being unbiased. So you can't have it both ways. I know personally what I'd rather. I'd rather someone just say it like it is. Jim Watt was the best. No love for Adam Smith anymore. My mind always goes back to that was just like, see, he does things like that. No, God, no. He's very much alive. Last I checked, he's very much alive. No, Jim Watt is still with us, thank God. He's very much alive. Yeah, that was Adam Smith. You see, like, I think he's been better since he's been on the zone because he's not been as virtue signally as he has been, because at Sky it was just crazy some of the things he was coming out with, and I used to just be like, really, did you really say that? So he's got like a bit more freedom, and the zone are not as, they're not as pushy on the kind of what stuff that Sky push on. Froch and Groves make a great commentary team. Yeah, and actually, funny if they both commentate, Froch and Groves, that would be good fun. Carl Froch with the banter, he'd be making reference to their fight every chance he gets. You know that. So Carl Froch would be a good shout. I'd give Andy Clark a go as lead commentator. I would. I think he's a good commentator. I might be in the minority with that, but I like Andy Clark. I think he's good. So, I give Andy Clark a go. Yeah, Costello he definitely didn't translate well into TV. I'd only ever heard Costello like one or two times, and it never stuck with me before he went in the zone. And I remember just that first broadcast being like, this is it. It's like, this is it. This is the big, reveal, song and dance, all this. And you're like, okay. Dev Sahni will be pretty good too. Yeah, I like Dev. And that's what you see. A lot of people look, I'm mates with Dev. Obviously, I'm mates with Dev. I've met him many, many, many times. We've had a drink together and everything. So I'm mates with him. So I want to see him do well. But objectively speaking, he's very good at what he does. When Tyson Fury, big up to Jinx, is how we say that. Big up to you, my man. How are you? But when Tyson Fury had that press conference with, what's his name, Makhmadov, and it was a horrible press conference. It was dull. No one really wanted to talk, all that. They got that Josh Denzel guy. And look, Josh is pretty competent at most things, but you can tell he lacks the experience at press conferences, because when he was asking Makhmadov, what are you going to do and stuff like that, Makhmadov, I don't know. Yes, I don't know. I do not know. And if that was Dev Sahni would be just constantly, well, tell him you're going to, he says he's going to, Dev would be just poking the bear to try and get something. Whereas I think with Josh, it was just like, the guy was like, I do not know. Okay. And you're like, mate, seriously? You can give me more than that. Yeah, some people, what virtue signaling? So basically, he's made a few. And I know a lot of them have peeved people off. Like I forget what show it was, but it was a female fight on, and he let a roar out mid commentary and was like, "They're better than the men," and it was like, no, man, we want to see, nah. I'm not against female boxing, but nah, man. But the main one that people go back to is when Tony Bellew fought Alexander Usyk. He fought Alexander Usyk in Manchester in 2018. Now, Tony Bellew's nickname is Tony the Bomber Bellew, and he has bomber tattooed on his back. I think it's on his back. And Adam Smith, in the middle of the broadcast, said the bomber tattoo is a reference to Tony's nickname. It is not to what happened in this building. I was like, mate, really? Did you really have to say that? I remember it well. I flip and remember it well. Yeah, Ron McIntosh isn't too bad either. He did commentary on that Gassiev fight, the Gassiev Pulev fight. He did he actually did a decent job on that. Ron McIntosh is an interesting one. Yeah, Ron McIntosh is an interesting one. He's not too bad either. And he's done a few good ones actually. He is another one where I think that he's transitioning a little bit better into TV whenever I've seen him do it, but he does still have that radio approach, but he is getting better. Yeah, it was, yeah, that's really, yeah, yeah. And he said other things as well, like, and I think that's what people don't like, because I've said this before, I'll say it again. I watch sport to get a break. If I'm watching a football match, I'm watching it to just get away, sit and watch, United play or Arsenal play or whoever, or I go to the game or whatever, or same with F1. I just don't want any virtue signaling, any politics. It's like you use that as an escape, and when you have that, you're just like, for God's sake, really? Yeah. So, do you think what do you think of the Sky F1 commentary team with Martin Brundle and David Croft? Are they good or a bit rubbish? Well, I think the best commentary team was Martin Brundle and Murray Walker, but obviously Murray Walker is dead, RIP, died 5 years ago. But James Allen and Martin Brundle was just as good. So I think James Allen, I'd bring him back if he would ever do it. And David Croft is okay, but he's another one. Like he always, I mean, like seriously, if it was according to David Croft, prior to 2018, we had drivers just, dropping left, right, and center until the Halo came along, because now every minor crash, the Halo saved them. No, it didn't. So yeah, Crofty can be a bit annoying, but he's competent. He does a decent job. They did the right thing getting rid of that Danica Patrick, because she was awful. Like she was horrendous, but they kept that Naomi Scaff, who's even worse. So they do make a lot of mistakes in Sky. But I don't disagree with them getting rid of that Danica Patrick one, because she was terrible. She was really bad. But that Naomi Scaff one is every bit as bad. And yet she's still there. And she is horrendous. There's also, who else is on that team? Nico Rosberg is a great commentator. I keep him on. Liam, have you ever seen the video? No, I've never seen it. I'm making fun of Jay Goody years ago. No, you'll have to enlighten me on that. What did he say? I've never seen it. What do you think he'll say? Do I think Arsenal will win any silverware this year? I think it's pretty much a wrap that they're winning the league. And again, I attend Arsenal games. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a United fan. But I get tickets and they're good seats, so I'm not going to say no, because I like football. It's fun. I enjoy going. They're going to win the league. They're playing City in a fortnight. If they win that game, that's it. It's a wrap. There's no coming back from that. If they win that, that's it. It's a wrap. And it's pretty much a wrap now. They're 9 points clear at the top? So, or 10 points? They're fairly ahead. David Hill, Johnny Nelson had a lot of flack because of the British bias. Well, they were both very biased. They were. Damon Hill had a competence about him, though. He did. Damon Hill wasn't too bad. Herbert wasn't too bad. But, I mean, like, you may as well, like, Martin Brundle is the only one who is normally objective. I mean, the whole Sky UK team is literally, whichever British driver is winning, he's the GOAT. And God forbid anyone who even challenges them. It was like that with Lewis. It's like that now with Lando. It's like that with George, So, yeah, that is what that is. Maya Jama, I mean, like, I forget. Only thing I remember about her doing the zone was getting the names wrong, and easy names. Like, I'd understand it because I butcher names all the time. If I was being paid to do it, like, as in, I suppose you could say I am, but if I was really being paid, like, as a signed contract job, I'd make it my goal to make sure I've heard the names that many times I can't say them wrong. But, like, she was calling him, Tommy McCarthy, Paul McCarthy? It's like, wow. And she just looked like she just didn't give a damn. She was just like, pay me and I'm going. How excited are you for Inoue Nakatani? I haven't been so excited since Spence versus Crawford. Yeah, Spence Crawford had me excited, man. Yeah, I'm smiling now even thinking about it. Not the fight, because the offer, for God's sake, sorry to ban and delete their comment. Yeah. It's not even a pay-per-view. Like, seriously. How did they, like... Anyway, but yeah, no, I am absolutely desperate to see that fight. I know Henry, a guy called Henry, is trying to get over for it to like Japan. I really hope he gets it as well. I really hope he does, because I know he is absolutely desperate to see. We all are. It's going to be flipping epic. It really will be. I can't wait for it. No. I mean, like, it wasn't a great performance, it has to be said, but yeah, he's not going to be like that against Inoue. But I don't see him winning the fight, truth. I think Inoue is just so special. And by the way, 150 in the building. If you could, please consider hitting the like, hitting the subscribe, hitting the notification bell. Look at that lineup. Holy God. I'm very tempted to go to that fight over in Paris. I really am. I am mega tempted to go to that fight in Paris. Which one, man? The one in Paris? I'm sure. Well, I won't be getting tickets, but it shouldn't be that hard. I was wondering, it just looked like I froze on screen there. Of all time, wow. Well, that's a statement. If he beats Nakatane and Bam or gets title 126. Yeah, 126 is the... It just goes to Dubois in his big long sleeve shirt or top, and it's just... Oh, yeah. I know I shouldn't laugh, but it's so hard. It's just so hard sometimes with Dubois. It's just, man. I shouldn't lie. Yeah, sneaky face off. Sneaky face off right there. Let's have a look, guys. Let's have a look. Dubois Ward. That fight's going to be flipping epic. It really will. I can't see how Dubois loses that fight. I really can't. I just can't see how Dubois loses. I just think he's just so much better in every department other than maybe heart. That's going to be epic. Yeah, no smile from Dubois. Oh, man, that's going to be some fight. Holy God, that's going to be fun, man. That's going to be fun. Wardley might dig out dog in him. See, Wardley has plenty of dog in him. I think Dubois will find... Well, not that he doesn't have it. I think he has it. It's just... If he's getting into a bit of a crisis, that's when he just panics. And I think that for him, a crisis is, I can't do what I want to do. If he's hitting the guy and he's getting hit, I don't think he sees that as a crisis. Maybe use the microphone. The microphone is definitely on. It absolutely is. Dubois went to Oxford. He got the rose. I was wondering, I was like, yeah. Although saying that, some of the people who come out of Oxford, you really wouldn't know if they did get the wrong bus, because you'd say Dubois might have the edge on some of them, to be honest with you. Big shout out to Wardley. Wins in 2 rounds. That's a claim. Although saying that, I wouldn't be shocked if Wardley won early. I wouldn't be shocked if either guy wins early, to be honest with you. But I think if anyone's going to win early, it's going to be Dubois. I think Dubois is just going to come out. He is going to be lethal. When have you seen a fight or win a fight so... When have you ever seen a fight or win a fight so convincingly, like in a way? He rarely loses rounds. Yeah. He's lost 2 rounds, maybe 2 fights his whole career. Well, he lost plenty of rounds in the first fight that he had with Donaire. And then the 2 knockdowns he's had scored against him. Other than that, he very seldom loses rounds, you're right. Very seldom. And it's just, he makes it look so effortless. And it's not just punching power. You know, people be like, oh, he's just a puncher. He's not just a puncher. I mean, look at his footwork. Just look at the footwork on Inoue. It's crazy how good it is. It's right up there with the Usyks of the world. It's incredible. Lando Norris, the worst champion of the 21st century. Yeah, we've had... it's between him and Jensen Button. So 21st century, it was Shumi, the GOAT. It was Kimmy. It was Lewis. It was Jensen. It was Sebastian Vettel. Then it was Nico. And obviously, this is just when they won their first. It's not in order. There's been more than that. And then it was Max. So yeah, I'd say it's between Lando and Jensen really, for the worst champion of this century. Because Nico Rosberg is way better than Lando Norris and Jenson Button. I don't care anyone says Nico Rosberg is way better than those guys. I mean, Nico Rosberg was quick. Big up to Ben. How are you, my friend? I fancy Dubois, better jab, more experience against top opposition. I agree. And you've outlined the reasons why I think he wins as well. And I'm having, for those who don't know, right, with the mic adjusted like the way I have it, the arm is blocking the screen where the chats are, so I have to literally glance around it to yeah, it's not ideal. It's a bit of a design flaw. And you know what? I probably should just move I might think I'll just move the laptop a little bit further to the left, because you can't see me because I'm using the laptop. That's actually made it a lot better. Actually, now I'd have to reach over. Should have done that earlier. Never mind. I don't use my head enough. I would somewhat agree. I possibly wouldn't disrespect him much saying he's a fluke, but he certainly has found himself in hot water in his last 2 fights. Yeah, the stoppage against Parker was Howard Foster doing what Howard Foster does. Seeing, Howard Foster forgets it's boxing sometimes, where he just stops and looks and think, oh my God, you're getting hit. I got to stop the fight. And you're like, yeah, that's boxing, It's boxing, The best F1 driver not to win the Formula 1 World Championship. Well, Sterling Moss has got to be up there. I'd say Sterling Moss. Charles Leclerc. Case in point, Lando has one, Charles doesn't. So Charles Leclerc has got to be up there. This driver blew hot and cold at times for me. Juan Pablo Montoya. Very good driver, very quick on his day. But he was like, Montoya is like a less polished version of Max Verstappen. Not literally, he had the speed and everything, but he just could never put it together fully. And he had he'd fire. He's very fiery. So I'd say him. Jean Alesi and Gerhard Berger maybe. And then, yeah, I would say out of all of them, Sterling Moss was probably the best not to. And Charles Leclerc definitely has got to be up there as well. 100%. Yeah, he really would. Yeah, Williams did say that, because Frenson was very highly touted, and Sam Michael, I remember listening to him on Beyond the Grid, and he was with McLaren when Lewis Hamilton was there, and he said the 2 best drivers in terms of just like raw pace he'd ever work with were Frenson and Hamilton. But Frenson, he lacked the brain, if that makes sense, because it's not just about being quick. There's so much more that comes into it, and Frenson just didn't have that. But Frenson was a great driver, 1999, being a championship contender in the Jordan, and 99 was a great season. I wasn't watching F1 in 99. I was only 5, but you go back and look. Yeah, Mark Webber is up there. 2010 was his year. That was his year. Mark Webber's definitely up there. 2010 was his year. Do we know who is on the Usyk Verhoeven card? Not yet. Not that I'm aware of. Stop talking and watch the ring. No, it's only a ring walk. We can answer the questions. I enjoy answering the questions. Yeah, the mustache does actually work for him. I will say that. Where else we got? White wasn't the non-puncher. Hell no, he was definitely not that. Big up to Ryan for the 99 pence. No question. But, as I always say, whether it's £100 or £99, next question, I will definitely answer it. Ask me whatever you want, man. You give me a super chat, doesn't matter how much it is, whether it's 99 pence or whether it's £100. You get the question answered. And thank you for the 99 pence. I appreciate it greatly. Absolutely every time, man. Every time. Doesn't matter how much you give. The fact you're giving anything, I am happy. And I will never play the ring walk live because I can chance it. Excuse me? Big up Hatman. No. I don't mind you call me G-Man or Liam, whichever. But Hatman, really? I mean, I know I'm wearing the beanie, but nah, man. Who's the most insufferable F1 driver you've ever watched? Sebastian Vettel. Easy. It's very easy. Don't like Sebastian Vettel at all. Never have. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Yeah, Massa was good. He was world champion for about 10 seconds in 08. He really was. No, I don't think Usyk will have any problems in his next fight. I think it's going to be a slam dunk, fairly easy, run-of-the-mill win. As these crossover. Yeah, that's a big what-if story, Robert Kubica. That's a big what-if, because he was going to go Ferrari. It's a huge what-if story, because he was so good, Robert Kubica. He was so good. Robert Kubica, yeah. Oh, I suspect Heeney wins this. Reminds me of Wario in Mario Kart. Oh, just everything about Vettel. When he was young, he grinded my gears so much because he was just a you know what. And as he got older, he got even worse. He became such a stirrer. I never liked Vettel at all. Nick Heidfeld was a very good driver. He won an F3. He was McLaren's test driver in the late 90s as well. He was actually tipped to go to McLaren when Mika Häkkinen announced he was having a sabbatical before Kimi Räikkönen was signed. Because a lot of people were surprised when they signed Räikkönen. They thought they were all going to sign Heidfeld. So that's a what-if story if they had signed Heidfeld. I think Nick Heidfeld was a very, very good driver, very competent driver. He was a bit like... He's kind of like a Carlos Sainz in a way. He's good, very good. But you just know he's lacking that little extra to make him there. That was always Nick Heidfeld. No, I never contact Hatman to make sure lives don't clash. If it does, if they've clashed a few, if it does, it does. I don't mind. I try and not to. The young Arvid Lindblad, he is wild. Look at some of his crashes in F2. He is wild. All right. Fight underway, Nathan Heeney. He's near the end of his career, people. He's 36 years old. He is 36 years old. But man, he is shredded for 36. Holy God. He is actually so shredded. It's crazy for 36 years old. He really is. Stroll is the most insufferable driver now. That's driving. But all time, it's got to be Vettel. But yeah, Lance Stroll was... that guy, like, whenever I played F1 games, he was always one. Like, the AI version of Lance Stroll, like on a lot of the F1 games, if he was ever getting lapped, he'd never let you by. And it's like, they made it so realistic, didn't they? Lance Stroll holding up faster cars. What's new? Oh, and I'll read the super chat, and then I will get back to commentating because I always read the super chats. Jason, big up to you. In F1, I can't stand Horner. Yeah, it was hard being a Max Verstappen fan and having to be like, ugh, Christian Horner is just all right. That was the hard part because you want to be a Verstappen fan and you're just like, ugh, Christian Horner, that ugh is yeah. Maldonado was hilarious though. I loved Maldonado because it was comical to some of the things he'd do. It was hilarious. It got to the point where if there was ever like a first lap crash, commentators would be like, Maldonado. They'd be like, no, it's not him. All right, no, it's not him. They literally had to correct themselves because they'd just be ready to say Maldonado because that's what he was known for. He was wild. Man, that Warbertton, he is limited. Holy crap. He is looking so limited. It's not even funny. Nathan Heeney's not a big puncher, though. He's not. He hasn't had a knockout for a while, I don't think. But that was it, William Warbertton or something like that his name is. Or Jermaine Warbertton. He looks so limited. The worst F1 driver in history is Latifi. Listen, Nicholas Latifi was not a good driver, but I have seen, in my opinion, the worst F1 driver. The two worst was a guy in the 90s called Ricardo Rosset, slow as molasses, and a guy from the 2006 Japanese driver, Yuji Ide. And you can find an onboard of Yuji Ide. And you know when people say, like, I reckon I could go quicker than him? I genuinely reckon I could go quicker than him. That's how slow he was. So they're the two worst. And they actually had to revoke Yuji Ide's super license. He was that bad because he put one of the drivers into a barrel roll in Imola in 06. So yeah, he is the worst. Yuji Ide. I think it's spelled that's the one. Yeah, yeah. UJ Ida. Yeah, he couldn't stop spinning. He couldn't get, and they had traction control back then. So I don't know how he managed to do that. Literally, they had traction control on the cars. So like it's not impossible, if it's wet out and I have a BMW back home and if I'm a little bit trigger happy with the accelerator, it spins the wheels a little bit, but it's not meant to do it. So yeah. Yeah, he has the legs on Nathan Heeney in terms of just how defined they are. Yeah, man is in serious shape for 36. Well, I suppose like you can be in serious shape at 36. It's not uncommon, but for someone as tall and lanky as him at that weight, that's where you're kind of like, damn, that's impressive. Being in shape at 36 is not like, it's not crazy rare. Yeah, lots of people are in shape at that age. Yeah, Grosjean 2012 was hilarious too. Although we cost Alonso the championship. But yeah, he couldn't stop crashing. They got him a therapist at one point in 22. Seriously, that's a true story. I think they got him a therapist so he wouldn't stop crashing. It was just, yeah. Boxing is finished. Another poor undercard. I disagree. I've actually found this. Yeah, he did. He went to F1 in 09 and they sent him back to GP2. It's very rare they do that nowadays, which is actually, it's a very good idea to do it. They don't do it nowadays, which is crazy because if you're struggling at F1, just bring him back down to the feeder series. I don't see the problem with that. It was so bad. Yeah, Alonso, like that's where someone got something they didn't deserve. Because Vettel should never have won that title that year. That was Alonso's to win. He deserved it. And another Vettel is just a horrible, horrible individual. I never understood why someone even liked him. It's just he's horrible, horrible individual. Awful man. But back to this fight. Nathan Heeney again. Oh, he's already marked up the eye at him. You can see that there on one side anyway. And that Warbertton guy, man, that's what I said. He's limited as hell. Like he is slow as anything. I don't think I've ever seen this kid fight. And boy, wow. There's not, oh, they are sick. Oh, look at that. Yeah, man. Oh, don't do that. Normally, when you say, come on, that normally means you're hurt. That normally means you're feeling those shots. And Nathan Heeney's got a tough guard to get through, but he is digging some of those body shots in. Holy crap. They look good. What was my favorite F1 season to watch? Probably 99 or 2000. 2000 because Michael Schumacher won, but 99 and 2000, they were fun. There was like classic races nearly every other weekend. And they didn't play around. Like if it rained, they were just like, yeah, just go and just drive. That's literally what the attitude was. And they did. And they were fine. Shock. Because back then, no one cared. And back then, they just like, look, the risk. And they did. And they were fine. All of them. But yeah, this, oh. Man, them body shots. Oh, man. You need to tuck up more about those body shots, man. He's hitting you at will almost. As soon as, and you wouldn't think someone like a Heeney would do that. Looks like he was in Blackadder. I don't mind the mustache, to be honest. Oh, wait, man. Oh, man. That rib cage is taking a pounding. Holy crap. Yeah, the Belgium overtake with Zonta, back then, the GoPro Rouge full throttle in the race, you just didn't do it. And that's what Hakkinen did to try and get close, which is crazy when you think about it, because those cars, you could do Eau Rouge full throttle in qualifying, but you couldn't do it in the race. But he did. And then it was full throttle every other year after that. Okay, round 2 comes to an end. Yeah, Nathan Heeney. Oh, man, yeah, I was just going to, yeah, he is going to be feeling those shots tomorrow. I would not want, I would imagine that if they have to do a urine test, they're going to find a lot of red in that urine. He did those body shots. Either Nathan Heeney really can punch, which I don't think he's a big puncher, because yeah, he is sinking those shots in. He looks heavy. They just cut to Jermaine Franklin. He looks heavy. He looks really heavy there. That's not filling me with confidence at all that he's gonna. Let's look at these. Look at those body shots he is sinking in. They are crazy. Mark Webber. He was underrated. Mark Webber, he was at his best pre-2010. because he like those cars suited him down to the ground. And Jason, man, you have been giving me number. I appreciate you so much, man. By the way, I really do. You've given me super chats all night, man. Thank you so much. It's great. It doesn't go unnoticed, man. It's greatly appreciated. Liam, did you see Shields? She would say she would beat Triple G. Oh man, you know what? You know the problem is, right? Is that you have these weirdos who I think want her to actually get into a fight a man and just to see her get knocked out. And you have the simps as well, who will gaslight her into thinking she can. Mate, she would get absolutely like it just. I don't talk about her that much because to be honest with you, I don't know, like I don't know. She's out there. And it doesn't help that people play up to that and oh, you can do yeah, nah. Nah, man. Why don't you ask to work Misfits the Zone prelims as a pundit? I don't think I'm in a position to ask them. I think that they'd have to approach me because me going and saying, can I work for you guys? I think that'd be a resounding no. I'm not going to go into what it is, but I have and will be doing some mainstream work. Not with the Zone, but I will be doing some mainstream work next month. I can confirm. I'm not going to say what it is or who it is, but it is going to be mainstream. So I will be doing that next month. Right. So, hey, so that's something to look forward to, So your boy is finally getting there, but I can't tell you about it fully until and it is all confirmed. I signed the contract, but I can't tell you the ins and outs until we're given the go ahead to. But there is some mainstream stuff coming, just so you know. Did you like Partridge before? So what? Fury before? I never warmed to Fury, but I liked him more when he beat Klitschko because I was just so fed up with the whole Klitschko era. But I can't say I ever warmed to the guy. I felt bad for him at times when he was going through like his ban and stuff like that. Not that, he was, it's just the fact he was being dragged out and this, that, and the other. But I can't say I've ever really felt that much for Tyson Fury, Luke Partridge, as a lot of people call him there. Look, at the end of the day, I just don't like someone taking me for a fool, and that's what he's been doing or trying to do. So I still think he beats AJ. Big congrats, thank you. I heard. Oh wow, really? I didn't hear that, but big up to Henry if he does get on there. That'd be mega for him. That'd be really cool. But yeah, if I got the opportunity to do the Zone Misfits, I'd love to. Be amazing. I'd flipping love to do it. But yeah, for now, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Maybe soon. Maybe one day. Who knows? What's the Partridge thing about? It's a name that someone years ago alleged that that's the real family name of the Furies. That the family name is actually Partridge, not Fury. I know, look, anyone can go on way back and can see that Fury Tyson was probably born Luke Fury as opposed to Tyson Fury. But the Partridge thing, I mean, you could I don't know, I can't make a case for it, but like there is a lot of ambiguous stuff there. But the Furies, John says he's Irish, but then there's no and there's a lot of things there that you could maybe nitpick at, but who knows? If it does transpire that the family surname really was Partridge and they changed it to Fury, oh my god. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Because yeah, Luke Partridge is awful. Like that name. Like Luke is not a terrible name. If I had kids, if I had sons, I wouldn't, no offense to anyone called Luke, it wouldn't be a name that's high on my list, to be honest with you. But it's not a terrible name. But Luke Partridge, I mean, like I've said this story before. You can have a first and surname that aren't necessarily that bad, but then you match them together and it just becomes diabolical. Now, I went to school with a guy, I told this story before. And his first and surname, they weren't bad names. And one of them was a very common first name, but they just together sounded awful. They just, man, they just sounded awful. Oh my God. Once you put them together, and you couldn't take them serious with this name, it's just when you put the first and surname together on this guy, it was just hilarious. And the worst part was, some of the teachers who had accents would say the full name, like during registration and stuff like that, and everyone would just laugh to the point where they wouldn't even call him by his full name because they knew the class would start laughing. And we did. We always laughed. It was hilarious. I wish I could say what it was, but I can't, because in case, God knows, you know. But the fight's on after this. I reckon. What time is it now? I reckon 10 p.m. St. Alban traveller Billy Jones lot told me there was no traveller family with the name Fury before the 2000s. That's interesting. Don't go there. Don't be teasing us with that. Don't be saying that, man. Moses and Trip. No, we didn't. Well, you wouldn't shower before you fight, I would imagine anyway. But look, the Fury story is an interesting one. It's definitely ambiguous. Definitely is. I don't know. And I've heard Hatman mention this before, and I tend to agree that the best thing you could do is to just show your birth cert, because that will kill it off. You know, my name says Liam, my middle name. My first name is obviously Liam, but my middle name, it's I suppose my middle name is Anthony. So my birth cert says Liam Anthony Goff. It doesn't say anything else. So I would imagine if Tyson Fury wants to kill it all, he should just produce the birth cert, and it would say, if he's nothing to hide, Tyson Luke Fury. I expect it doesn't. I expect that it says those names, but not in the same order. And there we are. Yeah, they used to call AJ Femi and stuff like that. And again, the Femi, but AJ fans never. And Femi is like, it's actually quite a nice. Femi Joshua's not terrible. You know, it's not. And Femi is actually an interesting kind of name. It's got a bit of mystique about it. So they used to joke about that and be like, oh yeah, you know, it's like it's Femi. It's like, yeah, but Femi, like, it's not his first name, it's his middle name. But it actually has a little, you know, it's something to it. It's different. So like, even though they're saying like, you know, oh, that's stupid and this, that, and the other, but it's like, you know, it's got something to it. Whereas Luke Partridge just is like, it's just like that. It's just like that. If this is a stupid comment, but are you sure travelers have births? Well, he was born in a hospital and he was raised in a house, so I would imagine he does. And here's the thing: you'd need some form of birth certificate to get a passport. And Tyson Fury has a British passport, so you know that's what I think that he probably does. I'm sure. In fact, I'm sure he does. So, look, I've no doubt that he was born Fury. I've no doubt that he was born that. Whether it was Luke Tyson, I suspect it was probably Luke Tyson. But hey, no one can be called Partridge after Alan Partridge has existed. It's done. Yeah, Alan. It's just this is the thing, right? Whenever I hear that name, Luke Partridge, and I see Tyson Fury, especially with a beard, he just looks like a Luke Partridge. He does look like someone who would have that name. He just does. He looks like someone who would have that name. So yeah, yeah. Liam, what do you think? Who do you think Katie Taylor will fight in her final fight? I've no idea, man. I genuinely don't. I mean, neither me and Addy know. Yes, Warberton's coming a bit back into this fight now, to be honest with you. He is coming a little bit back in. Nathan Heeney breathing a little bit heavy there as well. But yeah, 140 in the building, by the way. If you could, please consider hitting the like button. We're 71 likes. So we're not a million miles off 100. Let's get to 100 likes. Please, let's get to 100 likes. I would greatly appreciate it if we could get to 100 likes. I greatly appreciate that. I'd also greatly appreciate if you consider hitting the subscribe button. I barely asked that tonight. Just saying, barely asked it. We're at 29,430. So You know, get us up to 29 and a half. I want to get to 30K ASAP. Like ASAP. As soon as possible. Oh, is that nose broken? Because he is bleeding from the mouth pretty bad there. Or has he suffered a broken jaw? Whoa, he is bleeding bad. Nathan Heeney, what happened there? I wonder, is he showing his age in this fight? I wonder, is he starting to show his age? Because he's been looking a bit ragged the last couple. It really has. I really need to see a close-up of his mouth, man. His face looks mashed up. Holy whoa. Oh, dear. Is that a broken jaw? I tend to agree. I think he stops him earlier. Liam is really excited tonight. I didn't even see the end of that. Oh, that was a big right hand. He just missed with. I will read that super chat now. I promise. But I just want to get a glimpse at the corner and just see how bad that. Where is the blood flowing from? Oh dear. And you'd know they'd hide someone in there, or they put someone straight in the middle of it. You can't even see the flipping thing. Okay, Dave. Okay. Big FRG. Liam, what happened to Chris Andre? Ever hear from him? His, yours, and Hatman's channels were and are the elites. I haven't heard from Chris in nearly 2 years now. And the last time I saw Chris was about this time 2 years ago. We met up in North London for a coffee, and we had actually a really, really good time. He knows where I am. If he wants to contact me, I'm always there for him. I really don't know. I hope he's okay. I'm sure he is, but I miss him. I don't just miss Chris Andre's channel. Like, he was London based. I don't know if he still is, but he was London based, and I miss just meeting up with Chris because I liked that he's my mate. Like, he's not just the channel, he's my mate. And I enjoy just meeting up with Chris and having a laugh, and yeah, I do. So I hope he comes back to YouTube, and if he's in London, look, he has my number, he knows where I am. I'm not going to push, but I would love to see Chris just as a mate again, because again, none of us, Hatman has this, but none of us have. Again, if he's happy, that's the main thing. But I miss Chris. I do. I like Chris Andre. I really do. A lot of time for Chris. Really do. A lot of time for him. Great guy, and just an even better channel. No, he's an even better guy. Really, he's a great guy. But no, his channel was next level. Like, the breakdowns he did were just, I mean, like, just I miss Chris. I do. I really do. Great channel. So, minute and 50 to go in round number 6. Nathan Heeney was looking good early on. Was lighting this guy up. Was making me think, RIP this guy's liver. But he's come back into it, Warbertton. And apparently he's in his early 30s. He does not look like someone in his early 30s, people. He literally looks like someone who's just turned 24, 25. He does not look like someone who you would expect to be in their early 30s. No way. So, yeah, whatever. A lot of fighters who have to really work their way, up, they don't tend to look their age, because they really have to make sure. No knockdown. They really have to, I think it's his nose. Yeah, it looked, what happened to Outmatch Boxing. Outmatch Boxing is someone I do still see. And he actually lives in London. And me and him went Fernando's only, 3 weeks ago? He is fine. He's absolutely fine. He's very good. He's very happy. He just isn't as into boxing as much these days. And that's why he doesn't do videos anymore. It's nothing serious or anything like that. He is more now into strength training. And that's the road he's going down. And he's been competing in a couple of shows. And then as well, obviously, he does, his job and stuff like that. He does S&C and stuff like that. So, he is in a really, really good place. Like I say, me and Outmatch, we meet up at least once every couple of weeks for a bite to eat. In fact, we met up there, I think just after Christmas. We went to meet up in Shoreditch, and it's actually MEAT up. in Shoreditch. They do really nice food there, really cheap as well. Very nice though, very good quality food. It's not too dear. We went there, so me and Outmatch, and I hope, I don't want to say his name just in case, because I don't think he'd like that, but me and Outmatch, because I don't address him as Outmatch, yeah, he's good. So no issues there. He's all good. And big up again, man. Jason, man, thank you so much. Thoughts on Fundora? Thurman Fundora is going to beat the brakes off one-time Thurman. He's going to one-time him. Big up to Niall O'Connor every time. I hope you're keeping well, my friend. How are you? How are you? How are you keeping, man? From what I've been seeing, Heeney was doing well at the start, but he's starting to get wound down or grinded down. I'm betting on a draw. Yeah, he is starting to. That Jermaine Warbertton guy is starting to rack up. Flipping hell, he is taking some shots. Nathan Heeney's been making fights hard for himself a lot lately. Yeah, Thurman is washed, man. He is great, brother. I hope you're keeping good. Channel's going from strength to strength. Man, you saw the channel back when it was in the hundreds. Now it's in the thousands. Man, we've been there. Not just a sub, man, you know. Big up to Niall O'Connor every time. Big up to you, man. And again, I hope you're keeping good and everything is going well with you. And we are sat. It's going well because I'm literally sat here in London, happy as anything. And I get to go home this week. Told you to keep at it. You did tell me to keep at it. And I listened. Did tell me to keep at it, and I definitely listened. I listened to that. I think that's the only thing you've ever told me to do that I did listen to. And it was the right one as well. It was the right one. Thank you, my friend. Oh, fan scorecard has Warburton ahead. Like, I can't disagree with those scorecards. Wardley has Warburton ahead. I can't really disagree with them, to be honest with you, because Heeney was flipping hell. Oh dear, he's no head movement at all. Oh man. Did I see your comment? The channel is so good. I hope you recognize me. I comment on a lot of lives. Oh, I do, man. Yeah, no, I do. Absolutely. William Warbertton. No, Jermaine Warbertton is the guy's name. William Warbertton was that journeyman, didn't he? Who loads of people fought. Did you watch Ireland lose on penalties? Fortunately, yes, I did. That was, look, we're never going to win. We're never going to do it. And if we did get to the world, but it would have been nice. I got my hopes up there. I did. I got my hopes up there. Who's Heeney fighting? He's fighting a guy called Jermaine Warburton. He's 16-2. Now, this Warburton guy, mate, is limited. Oh, petrol every day of the week. F electric cars. Hell no, none of that. This guy is limited. He's not even particularly fast, but Nathan Heeney was good the first couple of rounds. He was landing some good body shots. He was doing very well, and he was sinking the body shots in. I think he's got a broken nose because he's been bleeding quite profusely, although he's putting in a little bit of a shift now. But he is taking way too many. Oh, look at that. There's no head movement at all. So upright as well. He's just so... Like, Nathan Heeney's always been a very upright fighter, but the older he's got, blimey. Straight shots just can't miss. Jermaine Warburton is the guy's name. You a fan of the AJ Usyk bromance? Yeah, look, I think it's genuine, and let's see. You know, I mean, like, what's left for AJ to try now at this stage? It's not already been tried. You know, he's literally tried everything, so you may as well, like, you know, there you go. And you think about it like this: my enemy's enemy is my friend. So there you go. Fury, Usyk, AJ's going to be fighting Fury, so there you go. A funny one for you. It disappeared there. A funny one for you. I know you don't like Thierry Henry for obvious reasons. Yeah, I don't like him for obvious reasons. I'm an Arsenal fan, and he's still the GOAT. Well, he was a great player, but yeah, I'll never forget what he did that night in 09. Good to see you, G-Man. Shout out from Cork. Big up to Chris Gray over there in Cork. Great little city. I will say that. I like Cork. I do. I like it down there. It's nice. Haven't been there in a while, but it's nice down there. I do like it down there in Cork. It's cool. Those straight shots are killing him. Absolutely. Look at that. He's just piercing the guard like that. Yeah, Ian Wright is the GOAT. Yeah, Ian Wright is like just great footballer, best pundit, best football pundit around. Ian Wright is just like next level. Next level. How can anyone not like Ian Wright? Like, it's crazy. No questions over Itauma's ability, but I do have questions over his fitness. Well, I don't think we're going to get him in this fight, to be honest with you, mate. Having saw the clip they showed of Franklin, he looks out of shape. He doesn't look in good shape at all. Yeah, Emmy Aluko is yeah, she's something, all right. She really is. She really is. That was glorious, Simon Jordan. And Simon Jordan does it to everyone, but it was glorious, him just completely shutting her down. And I will give her credit. I'll big Emmy Aluko up. I mean, it takes some serious cojones to do that. And you know Simon Jordan's going for the jugular. To be willing to do that, fair play to her. I'll give her a big credit for that one. 100%. Wow. The amount Warbertton has landed on Nathan Heeney is actually crazy. He's landed 110 shots. 67 of them are power shots. The jab is just working constant for him as well. The problem is Nathan Heeney's got no answer for this guy. He's literally got no answer. He was great early on. The first couple of rounds, Nathan Heeney couldn't miss with those body shots. Now, he's literally, and he's being bullied now. And now he's just, the legs look tired. Man, seriously. It's the straight shots that are killing him. It's the straight shots. Like, he can't see any of the jabs coming. He just literally cannot see. I don't know how he can't. Because the guard is not even tight enough to be able to stop any of those shots. And he's got a minute to go. Oh, man, that nose is mashed up. I reckon he could end up getting stopped if he doesn't start moving it. He's lucky this guy is not a puncher. I don't think his record indicated that he was a particularly big puncher. He's lucky. He's flipping lucky he's not a big puncher. Because this... It's getting bad for Nathan Heeney in there, and he's so limited. Like, he's just following the guy around the ring. And his guard's down too low as well. His guard's down too low, following this guy around the ring. Legs looking... Oh, that was a good right hand. That was a little bit better. Heeney peaked on the ring walk. He probably did, actually. Probably put so... I do wonder about it. He put so much energy into the ring walk that when you get into the fight, there's just nothing there. It's probably just... She got nothing left. I reckon that might be onto something with that one. And it just literally, it's just literally how it seems. Watching this, it's just the man's just got nothing left. It's like Ian Bill out of EastEnders. He got nothing left. No. He'd still, like, Nathan Heeney would batter into oblivion Clarissa Shields. It's like the Ultimate Warrior in WWE. Yeah. Obviously, I wasn't even born when the Ultimate Warrior was in, like, his peak and all that, but, like, I remember seeing, like, clips of him, and yeah, he'd run to the ring, he'd do that thing on the ring rope, and then, he's knackered. He can't move. Oh, yeah, Wilder might hear you, because they had the ring walk, it was the suit, he was spiked. That's the one thing about this week I'm looking forward to. Wilder is back in the UK. They're going to do the whole... He's going to go for the jugular again, wait and you see. He's going to come out with something absolutely stupid this week as well, especially if Fury is there. He won't. No, I wouldn't say Fury would attend because he's fighting next week. But he is going to come out with something stupid. He really will. He'll come out with something mad stupid, Deontay Wilder. That's what he does. Because Deontay Wilder is just so... Man, he's so country, it's not even funny. Like, he's just... honestly, I don't know where we got Wilder from. I really don't. But he is a once-off. Thank God for that. Two wash sluggers going for it. Yeah, and one of them is a lot more vulnerable than the other, being Wilder. Wilder is a hell of a lot more vulnerable. Yeah, we do Simon Jordan versus Deontay Wilder too. The rematch. Simon Jordan comes at him with facts. Well, which he already did. I mean, I really don't understand how anyone can still even remotely believe Deontay Wilder at this stage with all the amount of crap he said. And it's just ridiculous. It really is. I mean, just my documentary. It's... I actually need to crop that and save it. When I do my documentary, He is shot to bits. He is absolutely shot to bits. He's got nothing in there. Like, he's got nothing left. He's going to lose this fight handily. And there's not. This isn't one of those fights where it's not even a case you could give it to him. Rooney or Neymar? Rooney. Rooney ever so slightly. That's maybe United bias coming through, but I would slightly edge Rooney on that one. Slightly. Rooney was good, but it took him probably for a couple of years before he was a consistent goal scorer. But I would give it to Rooney. I'd give it to Rooney. Just personally. But Neymar was quality. He was injury prone, but he was good as well. Yeah. Oh, man. Martin Bacoli, like, seriously, that guy and food is just, it's not even funny. It is, but, you know, it's not, it shouldn't be. Man has an appetite that no one could, man, it's crazy. Man, Heeney, man, this is a 10-rounder. Oh, man. It's been fought at a decent pace, but god damn. No, ring walk won't be at 11. They'll get this fight out of the way. They'll speed the ring walk up. And bear in mind, it's only a 10-rounder. This fight will be over in 5 minutes. It'll probably be just after 10 again we get the ring walk. Take Bacoli to the buffet. I'd be scared for business. I maintain that's why they have Johnny Fisher fight at the Copper Box and not at the O2. There's an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet in the O2. And God help them when Big Johnny Sr. goes in there. God, he'll put them out of business. Seriously, like, he will put them out of business. Either he'll leave in an ambulance or the owner will, because he'll have had a heart attack because of how much he ate. So I reckon I know why he always fights in the Copper Box, because the O2 and the Copper Box are not far apart. They ain't far apart at all. And I know why. Yeah, they ain't never gonna let him go anywhere near there. As a United fan, how fun was it watching Rooney Tevez? Oh man, it was epic. Those were the days, man. Tevez was great. Rooney was great. With Ronaldo, oh man, it was like, yeah, that United side was just. My only thing is, I'm amazed we didn't win more European titles than we did. We won one. I'm amazed we didn't, because there was probably at least another title in there. There definitely was. So those were the days. But I'm liking the side, you know, we're looking good. We've had a good season. We're going to finish top 4. Top 3 be even better. And yeah, I'm very happy. Do I remember how bad the Metro Stars were? No, the Metro Stars. Metro Stars. Never heard of them. Oh, a soccer team? I've never heard of them. That's the first I've ever actually heard of a US soccer team. Yeah, I never followed US. So when Beckham went to LA Galaxy, I watched it and I was like, yeah, this isn't fun. I like Premier League football for a reason. They gave that last round to Heeney. So on Fabio Wardley scorecard, if Heeney wins this round and no one else gave it to him, yeah, Nathan Heeney is looking at a fairly conclusive loss. Do I think Beckham is overrated? Yes, slightly. I mean, I can't say I'm his biggest fan. You've been good ever since Carrick took over. We are a good side. We just had a crap manager. Ruben Amorim he's just nothing. So we have a good team, but Ruben Amorim was just a crap manager. It's as simple as that. And he played players out of position. He wouldn't change. And yeah, listen, we've got a good side. And Carrick is doing a good job. I say keep him. I say, yeah, let him have it. Let him have the job. Do it. Why not? You can't get we are playing a lot better now than we were in the Amorim. Let him have a season and see how it goes. Because I think we're playing beautiful. I got to meet Dave Beckham. I can't say I'd be yearning to meet him, to be honest with you. Pep or Sir Alex? Well, I'm going to say Sir Alex Ferguson. Pep is good, but like for me, Ferguson is the GOAT. And he had that menacing aura about everything about Fergie was just Like, I remember Ronaldo saying when he was thinking of signing for City, Ferguson rang him and said, "You're not doing it." And he just goes, "Okay, boss." Fergie's the GOAT, man. Fergie is just the GOAT, man. You can't compare. It's Alex Ferguson all the way. Alex Ferguson was United. He was just, man, he was the GOAT. He was the GOAT. And we are 40 seconds away from Nathan Heeney, I think, bowing out. Because there's no way he's won this fight. He is looking... The sign of a shot fighter is how much he's forcing his shots, and he is forcing... No. They won't rob him. If they rob him, they can't. They just... Like, the way... It's been so one-sided. They cannot rob him. No way. I'd be shocked if they did. It'd be absolutely horrendous if they did do it. Is Howard Foster judging? I don't know. I didn't actually see who the judges were at the start. Howard Foster is actually... He's not the worst judge, to be fair. But Nathan Heeney raised his arm. Yeah, he's not won this fight. Sorry, Nathan Heeney. I like you. You're a stand-up guy. You didn't win this fight. Not for me, man. Warbertton is celebrating like he's won a world title, and this might be as close to it as he gets. How come you don't go to boxing? I try to, but I don't go to the big shows because it's just so much more beneficial for me to do what I'm doing like this. I want to get to a few more smaller shows, and I try and get to a show a year. I should really get to... I will get to one of the shows this year. Which one? I don't know. As I said, I might go to the Paris show. I shall see. I haven't booked anything, and I need to because it's less than a month away. But I try and get to more. But the big shows, no, it's much more beneficial for me to just be doing this. Oh God, yeah. Warburton should have UD'd that. Someone says the main event next. Indeed it is. As Adam says there, indeed it is. I'm going to put the comms on. Heavyweight season on the zone. Pep or Mourinho? Pep. So you can all hear that. He's worried. He's asking the zone who they think won. You can hear that. So you're going to hear it now. What happened? That was a quick. They didn't wait long. That's normally a good thing. Howard Foster was judge. And now the WBA Continental Middleweight Champion, Jermaine. There we go. It couldn't have gone any other way. It couldn't have gone any other way. Heavyweight season on the zone. Help me sync. The best way to sync would be I will do like a bit of a countdown. No, the 97, 93 was spot on. I'll do a bit of a countdown. Or actually, what I'll do is when the first bell goes, I'll put the commentary on. So you'll hear the bell go ding, and that's how we can just like we can get it. Perfect. Sequential. Seamless. At 175 in the building. And we have 97 likes. You know, I don't ask for many. And if you haven't already, do please consider hitting the subscribe as well. Hitting that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. I'll just do a quick look on Instagram. Because, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Where else did we get that? I think Moses will be the most dominant champion in history. I don't see him being that, but crowd booing? No, he was the He brought 3,000 fans. See, that's the thing. 3,000 people can make a hell of a lot of noise. They can make a hell of a lot of noise, 3,000 people. So that's probably what it is. Kate Scott in the house. Oh, yeah. Kate Abdo. Kate Scott. Kate Scott. So where are we at? No, yeah, that's a what you call a proper blue collar fighter in history. Oh, yeah. I was wondering. I was like, yeah, he won't be the most dominant in history, far from it. But he'll do good. Yeah, the Stokies are booing. I was wondering when they were saying booing. I was like, surely not. But then they did say he brought 3,000 fans, so can make a lot of noise. 3,000 people if they boo you. Heeney is poor. I wouldn't say he's poor. I just think he's just old. He's just old. He's probably too big for middleweight. He's been at that weight for years, and that's just it. I just say, he's been and gone. It's his time is done. I backed Kate to beat Malik on points, maybe even late stoppage. He was an awful fighter and trainer. Well, he was an awful fighter. He wasn't great as a fighter, but he's made some money. He'd made more money as a trainer, even though I wouldn't necessarily want him training me. To be honest with you, I would think if I was a fighter. Let's think. I'll ask the chat that question, right? If you were a fighter right now, right? Just say God came down, waved the magic wand, made you a fighter, right? A good fighter at that. Who would you have as your trainer? Who would you have as your trainer? What's happening with Canelo? Apparently he's going to fight in September, but against whom, we don't know. But yeah, who would you have as your trainer? Me, I would probably, because if I didn't want to leave London, I would say Ben Davison. If I wanted to leave London, I'd go Robert Garcia. Literally the first two. But because I'd probably want to stay in London, I'd go Ben Davison. I might, well, if I wanted to go home and live back in Dublin, then I would consider Andy Lee, but I'd probably take Ben Davison still. Although Andy Lee, we live two opposite ends of Dublin, so I'd have to drive nearly an hour to get to his gym every day. Nearly an hour without traffic. So yeah, that wouldn't be fun. Yeah, John Fury, that's who you want training you. No, really? Yeah, I get it, but like, Teddy Atlas, really? That's a strange one. That's a strange one. He's many things, none of them good. Less said about that, you know what, the better. You being Irish, how do you feel about Conor and Khabib? Well, I've never liked Conor McGregor at all, ever. And I was glad when Khabib choked him out, because honestly, like, he's always been a scumbag, and I know, and I've said this before, because I'm someone who was in Ireland, in Dublin, at the height of McGregor mania, and a lot of people turned the other cheek because Conor McGregor, like, he's no, like, he's a scumbag, and he always has been. But a lot of people, because he was Irish, because he was winning, they were like, no, we'll turn the other cheek. But it gets to a point where you just can't. Like, the guy is scum. He's just. And now he's doing this whole, I'm a brilliant critic. No, it's so fake. It's crazy. Conor McGregor is, and right now his stock is at an all-time low in Ireland anyway. Peter Fury wouldn't be a bad shit. The problem with Peter Fury, though, mate, is you need to be a heavyweight, because he only seems to really want to work with heavyweights primarily anyway. So you'd probably want to be a heavyweight. That's one thing I would say. But Peter Fury is not a bad shout, because Peter Fury is a very, very good trainer. And people say, like, well, he hasn't done anything with Hughie. It's like, yeah, but Hughie Fury was never going to do anything to begin with. No offense, but he wasn't. He was always a mover. He was always a runner. And now he's lost his legs. Not physically, but you know what I mean? That they're not the same. So now what do you have? You've got a very slow, stiff, stationary fighter who just, Well, I wouldn't worry about the pads, to be honest with you. I'd be more worried if they were throwing everything into it early on. Jamie Moore is a good trainer, to be fair. Jamie Moore is a good trainer, to be fair. G-Man, what do you think the situation for Hamza is? It's pretty crazy how long he's been out, considering... I know, I don't know. It's crazy. No. He is a weird guy. Dominic King man's a weird guy. I wouldn't want him training me. Wait, there you go, man. Although he might try and boil you down for cruiser. He might. Oh, yeah. What am I talking about? Of course. Now, did I say Ben Davison? Of course. My first choice, straight up to Cannon Town, Tunde Ajayi. Yeah. Lions in the camp. I don't think there's anything in human history that lions in the camp can't fix. You know, my dog just died. Lions in the camp. You know, my car's broke down. Lions in the camp. I literally don't think there's anything that you can't fix with that. I really don't. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he is a weird guy. He is odd, and yeah, I don't know, man. He's not a bad trainer, but yeah, I don't know, man. Personally, I wouldn't like to train with Dominic Ingle, to be honest with you. He is a weird guy. He's a very weird guy, man. So no, I think I'll pass on the Dominic Ingle offer, to be honest with you, to train me. I think I'll pass on that one. I doubt it very much, man. I doubt very much he'll come back. Good morning from New Zealand. Listening on a work phone. There you go. Working on it. Well, it's Sunday in New Zealand, isn't it? Working on a Sunday? Man, they can't have you doing that. They can't have you working on a Sunday. Nah, man, that's harsh. That is harsh. They have you working on a flipping Sunday in there. Oh, Jason, man, you are. Honestly, man, if I ever see you in person, the first thing I'll do is buy you a drink for all this. Liam, who would have won in their primes, AJ or Wilder? I tend to agree with you. I think Wilder would have won. I think AJ would have been hesitant and Wilder wouldn't have been. And I think AJ would have made a mistake. I think AJ would have been because AJ is a tinker and he overthinks. I think AJ would have probably kept himself awake most nights thinking about that right hand. And the saying goes, lo, the thing I fear has come to visit me. I think he'd end up walking into it. I think Wilder would have cleaned Anthony Joshua out if they'd have fought. I really do. I really think Wilder, in their primes, Wilder for me had the beating of AJ. Wilder for me had the beat. Now I'd be picking AJ, but back then, Wilder definitely. Well, see, you say that, but Tunde as a manager is actually not that bad because he's made Anthony Yard a truckload of money. So as a manager, you would say being a bit of because Tunde is a wheeler dealer, like that's what he is. Being a bit of a wheeler dealer like that, it actually, because he got nearly that sponsorship. I mean, Yard is rich off the base of that. But as a trainer, hell no. Yeah, and Mark Breland's not a bad show, actually. He's a good I genuinely think I think it's not the fact that no one's working, but I think he wanted to step away after the whole Wilder situation and everything that was said and all that. I think Mark Breland's a good trainer. I do. He obviously cared for his fighter. I'm glad that Hrgovic is fighting again. Yeah, we need to see him. We need to see Hrgovic back. I think that he's going to beat the brakes off Dave Allen. I really do. Alatoni Lomachenko, well, now it would depend. Like, I mean, he wouldn't be a bad show. He's got a good boxing brain, but that style is not going to work for everyone. You'd want a trainer that's very dynamic rather than, one size fits all. I'd rather Tunde than Billy Nelson. I mean, like, you're talking, like, realistically there, man. Like, I mean, it's a real pick 'em. Neither trainer is really who you'd want. I mean, Billy Nelson. Billy Nelson has shown that he's better at. Like, the one thing I will say is, if you look at what's his name? Blimey, I forget his name now. The Northern Irish fighter who beat Paddy Donovan, Lewis Crooker. He is able to devise game plans and adjust things. Tunde Ajayi, Lions in the camp. Oh my God, I marched forward the first fight and I only ended up winning on a DQ. How do we fix it next time? Lions in the camp. At least with Billy Nelson, he was able to change things up. Big up the chat and boxing with WYB. Big up the chat and boxing WYB. What's up, G-Man? Big up. Hope you're well. Do you believe the loser? Well, Wilder, it's hard to say, but I think either way, Chisora will call it. I think either way, Chisora's going to call it. If Johnny Fisher is Johnny Fisher injured, mate, I wouldn't be picking him in the slightest against Otto. I think Otto would beat the brakes off Johnny Fisher. I don't know. Is he injured? He doesn't appear to be. I really don't know with Johnny Fisher. Look, I've said this before. I'll say it again. I wish him nothing but the best, but I think he needs to go down the Misfits road. Because he's, I see in a recent interview with Johnny Fisher where he was like, I've got a punch. And, it's like, mate, like, you're saying Wardley and Dubois have punches. No, they don't. They have punches, but they have other things. You've literally got nothing else. How many journeymen, and I mean this, how many journeymen can hit really hard? Like, really hard. Could knock out AJ, could knock out Fury, could knock out Wilder, could knock out Usyk if they landed. But they don't. That's the thing. And they have bad chins. They've got poor defense. They've got questionable gas tank, etc., etc., etc. I heard Johnny was trying to fight for the British title next in what world does... Well, he doesn't. And if it's Reactpour or JBTKV, look, I respect him. He's a trier. But I blame the team because I think the team are trying to make a quick buck out of him. And they're probably telling him, oh, you can do all this and this, that, and the other. All right, brilliant. But it ain't gonna, you're only going to end up getting yourself hurt. Not just me saying that, it's other people. You gotta get a round counter in the corner. No, I don't. StreamYard is, I need to swap some StreamYard. It's outdated. It's just easy. It's just easy, but I need to swap it up because OBS is where it's at. You can get loads with OBS. Yeah, we can do way more with OBS. And by the way, 210 in the building. 210 people in the building. If you could, I would say please consider hitting the like and the subscribe and hitting that notification bell. In particular, the like and hitting the subscribe button. We've got 111 likes on this live. If you could. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, Giorgio Visioni, he is a Mark Tibbs trained fighter. He's looking interesting. Mark Tibbs is one who I'd consider getting to train me, actually. Mark Tibbs is one. Mark Tibbs is pretty good. Mark Tibbs is good. I have a lot of time for Mark Tibbs. I really do. He's a nice guy. He's a good guy as well. Liam, what was you doing for work before YouTube? I still do have to work, unfortunately, which I work in account managing. But hopefully, I spoke earlier in the stream, for those who didn't hear, I can't say what it is, but I've bagged my first mainstream gig. It's not I don't know how long it's going to be, so I can't, go full-time doing this yet, but we're making a step in the right direction. And if this goes well, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. That's what I got to say on that one. Yeah, he doesn't have the kind of power to make up for a clear lack. Yeah, it's not Wilder power. He's got decent power. You wouldn't want to take a shot off him, but there's so much wrong. And I mean this, but there's just so much wrong with Johnny Fisher in a sense that he's got poor defense, a weak chin, not the quickest, boxing ability is questionable, and he panics. You can see the anxiety in him when he's in the ring. He's afraid. It's just, there's so many red flags with him. It's crazy. And like I said, I wish him nothing but the best, but you don't need to be a genius. People say oh, what qualifications do you have to say this? Well, I've tried the sport. I've been watching it a lot. I've done enough to flip and be able to talk about it. I know when I see a fighter who's not going anywhere. And the reason I'm saying it is not to be a hater. It's because I don't want to see the kid get hurt. That's why. Coming from it from a humane point of view, saying this is dangerous. Don't let the kid get hurt. Instead of saying, keep fighting to make us money. Doesn't matter if you end up talking. A big up to Yasmin. Yasmin Malik every single time. Big up to you, my friend. Although that, I was going to say mate, but that could be Yasmin, male or female? I'm going to assume male because 90% of males watch these videos. So I'm going to assume that's male. A big up to Yasmin every time. Yasmin Malik. Who's the rapper singing to Itauma's ring walk? And I'm asking the chat because I have no idea who this rapper is. Oh, female. Okay. I thought that with a name like Yasmin, all right, but I'm so used to saying mate, how you doing, buddy, and stuff like that, that I just, yeah. It's a force of habit. It's a force of habit. But who the hell is that rapper, by the way? Yeah, they can. They can, to be fair. They can, to be fair. They absolutely can. But yeah. Moses Itauma. God, he needs more than 2 fights this year. Look at that. 2 fights in 2025. That's crazy. This is Mex rapping. Okay. I don't follow the rap scene the way I used to. And a lot of them nowadays, like, I will never forget that rapper they got for Fury Usyk, who was in that, like, cage above the ring. He literally looked like a little scrawny epileptic having a fit. That's literally what he looked like. It was pathetic. I'll never forget that one. But yeah, I don't keep my eye on the 50 pence, literally. We went from 50 cent to 50 pence. It's not even, it's 1 pence for some of these rappers. Mix is very recent. He's only been around since 2020. Oh, that would explain why I haven't heard of him then. Because again, a lot of these rappers are no good these days. There was a couple of rappers on the UK scene that I did used to like back in the day. You know, how did I meet Ade? I sent him an email 7 years ago. Had a WhatsApp call with him, and now we do a show together. At NG, man. Who would just, it's weird the way things go. I wouldn't pick Jake Paul to beat Johnny Fisher personally, but anything is possible, to be honest with you with that. But yeah, there was a couple of decent rappers in the kind of, like, even in the 2010s, there were some decent ones. There was a guy called, his name Big Finch or something like that. And he was decent. So there was a couple back then. Has your beard gone? Yeah, I actually tried to style it, believe it or not. And this is the result of me trying to style it. I had to shave the whole thing off because I made an absolute cock and balls of it. So it will grow back because I shaved it on Monday and it's already coming back pretty quick. So I think we're all good. I think it'll be back before you know it. Yeah, because I shaved it on Monday and it's already nearly back. Well, it's not nearly back, but it's growing quick. So we're getting there. Yeah, Franklin doesn't look good at all. Like, he really looks big and slow. Yeah, apparently the guy's name was Mex. Never heard of him. Yeah, Franklin looks heavy. He looks heavy. Clean shave. You see, I think it does, but loads of people want Cillian Murphy. Maybe just this. Maybe. I've never heard that one. Professor Green, nah, he was all right. Devlin, I liked in the 2010s. Devlin was good. I liked him from Dagenham in East London. Devlin was. But yeah, I quite like the clean shaved, but no, more people are telling me beard. So, okay. I defer to the professionals, and they really are that. So I defer to them. But yeah, I do like the clean shaved. That would be my preference, to be honest, which it would be the clean shaved. But as I said, I defer to said professionals. I defer to them. Thomas Triber. Well, listen to this. I do like Thomas Triber, I have to say. I definitely don't do the sunbeds. Oh, that was flipping. Yes, that was hilarious. I watched that so many times when he did it. That was so funny. That was, yeah. And then he did it in the voice and everything. Introducing Dylan, the baby snatch. That was that was oh man. I'm gonna as soon as I finish the stream and do my post, I'm gonna watch that clip again. That was hilarious. The baby snatcher. Man, that's diabolical. Yeah, and he did. Dylan White called him into an interview after. That was oh man, that was hilarious. Gee man, do you not need to go toilet if you're sitting down so long? There have been times where I've needed to, and I've just literally not knocked the camera off, put the avatar on screen. There have been times. You just remind me of that. Of who? Unless that comment got, you just remind me of that. Of who? Who do I? Hopefully good. Someone said I was like Cillian Murphy. I was like, you know what? I will take that. I will happily take the Cillian Murphy reference. I will happily take that. No offense. That I will take that every day of the week. Oh, the baby snatcher thing. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was, yeah, that was. The baby snatcher was yeah, John Fury, you know, the fighting man. And yeah, he was nowhere to be found then. That's why I need to stop using StreamYard. Because OBS you can do that. I need to get on OBS. It's just tricky to use, but it's worth it. I need help on that one. I do definitely. Definitely not that. Last time someone made me laugh was when they're pulling a push about. Now the baby snatcher was next level. That was so funny. And he just went full blown proper on it. Oh man. The way he said it, that babe, there was no like pause around it, and it was just there it is. Let's go, lads. Commentary time, boys. Man, he looks heavy. Holy sh. Wow. Let's go. Oh dear, he doesn't look good at all. Jermaine Franklin is waddling to the ring. Yeah, and look at Itauma. The hand speed is there. The foot speed, that's a lovely jab. Now, Franklin has always been cute, but I don't think he's ever experienced speed like this because he's been in there with the likes of Dylan White and Anthony Joshua. Joshua's decent speed, but he's not this. This is different. And Itauma already targeting that soft body. There's a straight left. He does. He looks in much better shape. You know, when he fought that Belogan guy, he looked heavy. Look at that. That's great. The little step in and out movement, and that hand speed is absolutely blistering from Itauma. It really is. And look at that. As soon as a shot is thrown from Franklin retaliation, Itauma's already out of dodge. He looks noticeably leaner. And that's that was a lovely counter. And there's another one. Look at the hand speed. Holy. His hands look faster. They absolutely look faster because Itauma's always had quick hands. But I think now that he's taken a little bit of the fat off, because he was never fat, but you could see he had a little bit of, bit of tubbiness there. Nothing major. Now, man, that hand speed just looks electric. His feet, look, he's got the wide stance. His legs are slightly a bit wide there, but he's still able to just close that distance so quick. There's a minute and 30 gone, and there's a lovely little straight left that just grazes the guard, Jermaine Franklin. But he is very cute, it has to be said. Misses with an uppercut. There's Moses Itauma. Jermaine Franklin, he's never shown a bad chin. He was rocked a little bit by Dylan White, to be fair, in their fight. But this is a whole different kettle of fish altogether. There's the left hand that goes in from Moses Itauma, which just backs Jermaine Franklin up ever so slightly. And he won't hit his physical peak until he's late. I reckon maybe even 31, 32 is when he's going to hit his like physical peak. Shane Fury, I haven't seen him, but maybe he's going on behalf of Tyson, but I haven't seen him. 55 to go in round one. Very slow, labored shots coming back from Jermaine Franklin. He's looking to counter, but he's in there with someone who's just way too quick. Itauma backs him up to the ropes and he looks to land the right hand or left hand, but misses. Franklin's always been cute. He's always been defensively sound. but very slow, very heavy. And he's in there with a lightning fast heavyweight who lands a jab at will there, looks to come in with the left hand. Jermaine Franklin is just backing up to the ropes, just looking to see if he can counter. But the problem is, he's slow and he's trying to counter someone who is so much faster. Would you watch this? Why the hell would you watch this instead of watching the fight? This is the fight. We're watching Jermaine Franklin. Franklin has whiskers on him. I'll give him that. Yeah, he does. And he's taken. Oh, he's hurt. Oh, I thought he was hurt. I thought he was sinking into the ropes. Oh, what a jab. He takes it. That was a serious jab he took. Man, Franklin's taking a pasting in that round. Damn. Franklin, I mean, he did a good heavy bag impression there. I'll give him that. Took a few shellackins there, but yeah, this is not gonna go well for Jermaine Franklin. I do not believe in the slightest is this gonna go well for Jermaine. 1-0 Franklin. Yeah, he definitely won that round. Oh yeah. He won that round. Where are we at? Franklin is just trying to survive. That's literally what he's trying to do. That was a worry that he could be literally going in there just looking to, hold, spoil, move. Speed's too much now. I wouldn't say he's look at that. Just the hand speed is just so much. Like, you're not used to a heavyweight with hands like that. As I said, we're in the first 5 rounds. I think this fight be over. Round 2 is now underway. So the second round, that's such a nice jab. It's a real snappy, fast shot. And it has power on it as well, because there's some jabs that are just thrown out as rangefinders. Even if you land, there's not much on it. That jab has plenty on it. That jab absolutely doesn't. Look at that. He's just moved. Oh, man. And Franklin probably thinks he's safe there at times. And just every time he thinks he's safe, Itauma is just there. He's trying to counter, and Itauma's out of dodge. He's in. He's hit him. And Franklin is actually trying to get the counters off, and he just can't. Another jab goes in there, misses with the left hand as Moses Itauma. Jermaine Franklin has to go and reset himself again. He's not holding, but he is going to be struggling to be able to maintain this. And what I mean by maintain this is getting hit by Itauma and just narrowly avoiding some of these shots, because he can just pick the speed up like that. Franklin is just throwing that air with those jabs. There was nothing on them. And the speed of Itauma's hands is it's electric. It's just crazy. He's already landed 23 shots, and he's landed at a very high connect percentage. It would be interesting to see him fight Usyk with speed like that, because it would be a different test for Usyk. Because he would never, ever, ever, I would imagine, maybe even as an amateur, fought someone with that kind of hand speed. Because that hand speed that Itauma has is it's actually insane. And the movement, just the way he's able to just stay in the pocket, but just move his head slightly, and boom, there we go. It is crazy. There's another jab that lands on the head of Jermaine Franklin by Moses Itauma. There's 1:20 to go here in the second round. And likewise, it has been all a bit less aggressive in this round. Itauma has to be said, but he is still, what minute are we on? We are 1:05 left in round number 2. So we're near the end of the round. And there's a body shot that goes in from Itauma as well. And that guard is held up high. Franklin has nothing to come back with. Oh, and yeah, that was a good lead left hand. Itauma caught Franklin with it. Franklin sticks his tongue out, as much to say, yeah. And 45 seconds left. Itauma just looking to feint, just looking to move, just looking to try. He's actually trying to get the hands of Jermaine Franklin down, because he knows he can actually throw that left hand with speed, and he knows that he won't be able to get his guard up in time. 30 seconds left in this round. There's a left hand that goes in, just lands on the chin of Jermaine Franklin. He took it well, though. He actually took that left hand very well, but you get the impression that Itauma knows what he's doing, and he is just picking his moments very, very, very carefully. And this is actually going to go more rounds than he went in his 2 fights last year. The most he went last year was 2 rounds. This looks like it's going to go a little bit longer than that, but how much longer? Well, it's going to go longer than 2 rounds. I wouldn't say he beats Usyk. I haven't said that, but I said it would be interesting, certainly with the hand speed. That would make things a little bit more interesting. 240 in the building. If you could consider hitting the like, hitting the subscribe, and hitting the notification bell. I just said I'd ask you. Just said I'd ask you. Just said I'd ask that. Hitting the like and hitting the subscribe said notification as well. Big help. Big help. Yeah, that left hand goes in. Look at that. That's crazy. He's good whiskers on him. I'll give him that. He's a decent chin, if nothing else. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, like last year, he literally was in there with nobody's. Like that Dylan White fight was just, that was painful. Not in a good way. Round 3 is underway, people. Round 3 is underway. Someone was saying there they thought Itauma took that round off. I doubt it very much he took it off. I'd say he just was a bit less aggressive. There's a difference between taking it off. Doesn't look like he's taking this round off at all. He is going straight on it. That was a terrible fight for Dale. Yeah, it was you expected so much and you got so little. Oh, now he is letting that left hand go. Oh boy, he is letting that left hand go now. The problem for Jermaine Franklin, he just keeps getting backed up to the ropes. He's got no leverage. See, he's trying to return with counters, but there's no way he can actually return with a counter. Literally not, because that was a good right hook that he landed on. Only 6. Hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button, people, please, if you could. I would greatly appreciate it if you consider hitting the like button. I love what he's doing when he's just bringing that left hand like that. He's not even throwing it. He's just probing with it just to try and get a reaction out of Jermaine Franklin. Was a good body shot by Itauma. And again, when you're in there with someone whose guard is up like that, you want to be careful because you know you're going to have a job trying to get through it. But Itauma has such good hand speed. You do get the impression that he could do something. That was a nice right hook that he lands on Jermaine Franklin. Similar position that he had Dylan White in back in Saudi Arabia all those months ago. He was able to close a show on Dylan White, but Dylan White was already hurt. Jermaine Franklin hasn't shown any signs, but he is getting hit now with more body shots. Trunks are up very high as well. That gut is protruding like hell, and he's backed up to the ropes again. He has nothing to come back with these counters. And Itauma just looking to pick the right spot, just looking to pick the right moments, just looking to make sure that he has that moment to hit that perfect shot. Another body shot, and they're going to bring the heart, they're going to bring the arms Jermaine Franklin down. Mark my word. We've 1 minute and 5 to go in round number 3. And if we see the end of this round, this will be the longest Itauma's gone in years. I think 2023 was the last time he saw the end of the 3rd round. He may very well do it in this fight. In fact, I think he probably will, unless he lands something crazy in the next couple of minutes. But it's looking unlikely because Jermaine Franklin, as I said, he's a very cute heavyweight. Oh, but there's some body shots going. No, man, your trunks are up high. Don't complain. Look like he complained there. Your trunks are up high. That's legit. That's a legit one. No, he looks like oh, there he goes. Down he goes. That was a great right hook. First time Jermaine Franklin's ever touched down. First time in his career. Down he goes. 15 seconds left. Itauma is a clinical finisher. Itauma, one of the best finishers in boxing. 10 seconds left. Right hook goes in again. Jermaine Franklin isn't throwing anything, but Moses Itauma's picking his shots very well. He's going to pick his moment right. He may very well get out of this round. In fact, I think he really will. I think he does. And he does get out of this round. But that's the first time in his career that he's ever touched down. And it was down to a Moses Itauma right hook. He's already looking knackered in there. I want to see a replay of this. I really want to see a replay of this. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Right hook. Down he goes. Mate, I know. That's why you don't look away. You don't look away. Look at that. Yeah, right on the side of the head. Down he goes. And this is someone who doesn't get stopped. And I've never seen him touch down. Well, he's touched down now. Did something AJ nor Dylan White could do. So Itauma, this kid is something else. This kid is something else. So he goes into the 4th round for the first time in God knows how long. Never been past 6 rounds. Unlikely. I'd say he might actually get past 6 tonight. I'd say it's very unlikely. Let's go. That's round number 4. Can he pick up from where he left off? He knows he can hurt him now. He'll have, that was a clean shot. That was a clean hook. The hand speed is insane from Itauma. Oh my days. And look at that. Like, he is going for it now. And he's got the grin on his face. He is going for it now. It's crazy. He's missing the trick with not countering him as he's coming in there. He does look so good. Doesn't need the 286 project every time, man. Hope you're good, man. I hope you're good. And it is crazy the speed of Itauma. 220 left in round number 4 for those watching. I think he's missing the trick. He's coming in like he was against Balogun. And Itauma was countering Balogun when that was happening. He's not doing it here. I think he's missing a trick doing that. But there's a big left hand that goes through. Franklin looks to exchange but can't, ends up going into a clinch with 2 minutes left in round number 4. I did say between rounds 1 to 5, he might prove me right, Itauma. He might yet. He's already dropped the man. He knows he can hurt him. He's landing with regularity. And I think he's going to do, I think we're going to see something sooner or later. There you go. Another left hand goes in. Body shot goes in from Itauma. Jermaine Franklin has to back up again. 1:40 to go in round number 4. Franklin, though, in fairness to him, he is actually trying a bit in this round. He is letting a few more of those shots go. They're slow. They're ponderous. There's nothing on them. And then the hand speed of Itauma just rears its head again. And he ends up struggling. He ends up backing himself up into a corner. And Itauma, this is where he needs to unload. Left hand goes in by Moses Itauma. Jermaine Franklin retaliates. 1:10 to go in round number 4. Slowing the pace up a little bit here, Itauma. He's not really putting his foot on the gas the same way he was earlier on in this round. Maybe he's just seeing out the end of the round. Who knows? Or he's looking to wait for that one moment where Franklin is open and Itauma can just launch with a shot. And that's a good jab from Jermaine Franklin, actually finding Itauma with a few shots here. But the grin on Itauma's face. And there's that hand speed yet again. They do say you can acclimatize to it. I don't know how you acclimatize to this kind of hand speed because these shots are coming from all angles. Jab again and again. And there's a nothing jab from Jermaine Franklin. And there is openings here. Yeah, you can. Yeah, like, I'd say if Franklin was in shape throughout the course of his career and he actually took it a bit more serious, he probably could have done something. Right now, I'd say it's just, nah. And like, he is throwing these haymakers. They're nowhere near Itauma. He's 15 seconds left in round number 4. Yeah, we are going into the 5th round. Nah, I don't think Itauma's going to gas. I think he's actually shown he's got a decent gas tank in this fight. At least so far. Because he's going into the 5th round now. Surprised we got this far, to be honest with you. Yeah, he misses. He's definitely not got ambition. You're definitely right there. He wasn't that bad in the AJ fight, Jermaine Franklin. He genuinely wasn't. He's actually fair. Like, he wasn't, like, you could see he wasn't a world beater, but like, he wasn't out of his depth, to say the least, in the Jermaine Franklin fight. But he wasn't as good. It's just that simple. But yeah, Itauma's pace is crazy. Do I look cold? No, I'm okay. No, we are all right. When he turned Moses, yeah, literally turned to the ropes and refused to throw anything. I think he is in survival mode. He's not trying to win. He's just trying not to lose bad. Well, he's already gone longer than most. Round 5 is underway. He might be the first guy to take Itauma past 6, but I can't see him. Again, I'm fairly sure Franklin versus Baker, who wins? Baker. Who's Baker? I mean, Bacoli, maybe. If it's Bacoli, I'd be saying Bacoli, definitely. Oh, yeah, Bacoli. I was wondering, like, who the hell is Baker? So Itauma's won every round on everyone's scorecard, and no one's going to even be disputing that. We're 2:25 into round number 5. And Jermaine Franklin he's still there. Like, he's not looking for a place to lie down, but you can tell the ambition is not there. He really just doesn't want to lose. As Adam said, he doesn't want to lose bad. Oh, Bacoli. Man, I've already asked that question before. Where the hell is he? He's probably somewhere in Africa eating himself to God knows what weight. And I guarantee I'm probably right. Probably eating right now. Probably God knows what he's eating. Importing the battered Mars bars over from Scotland. You know, freeze them and then I'll batter them again. Deep fry them again, or deep fried Mars bars. All right, so we have a minute and 45. And look, oh, he actually is letting a few more shots go in this round, Franklin, to his credit. To his credit. But that speed of Itauma is, it's so, oh, 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 oh. Oh, wow. Oh, what an uppercut. He was knocked out before he hit the deck. Whoa. Man, he was out before he hit the canvas. Holy crap. Oh, I want to see a replay of this. I want to see a replay of that. I told you. I was right. I was right. Broken clock is right twice today in the first 5 rounds. If anyone put money on that, there you go. You're welcome. I'm hoping someone did, actually, because you've just won some money, and I'd like to take the credit for it. Damn, that was some uppercut. I want to see that again. All right, he is up. He is up, but he looked out before he hit the ground. Damn. That was insane, man. Just the way he threw it, and he just was like that, like a statue. That was, oh man, I want to see that again. I want to see that again, man. That was crazy. Let's see. All right, here we go. So, oh, look at that. Bang. And he was out. Like, he was out. And as he's going down, there you go. Another shot for good measure. Man. There's nothing. Oh, there's nothing like a big uppercut knockout, isn't there? There's just something about that shot when they land that big boom uppercut. Bang. Oh, man. Wow. I mean, there was. Oh, man, that was. Wow. And he bows to the crowd. There we go. Man, Itauma is, man, that is crazy. Dev Sahni and Fabio Wardley ringside. Dev Sahni, oh, look at Dev, he's like shocked. I was like, no, man, that was a serious. Yeah, Dev's reaction's hilarious. Man. And Daniel Dubois is just sitting there like, oh, they're all standing. I better stand. Yeah. That's literally Dubois' whole reaction, isn't it? I pretty much nailed the Dubois reaction there, didn't I? It was uncanny. It was uncanny, you know? Daniel, he just got a knockout. How do you think? That's literally him. That's literally him in a nutshell. I think I've said more words in the last 5 minutes than he has in the last 20 years. That would actually be a decent shout. That was brutal, though. Holy crap. That uppercut was sick. That was something else. Oh, boy. That was crazy. What's next for Itauma? It's a good question. That is a good question. Dubois was like Donnarumma after he saved England's penalty at the Euros. Donnarumma, now he's number 1. He's a good keeper, to be fair. Donnarumma, give him that. Right. I am going to leave it there because I have to go and record my post-fight review. God damn. Post-Usyk, I don't think anyone gives him trouble. Yeah, I mean, like, that was insane. Like, that uppercut was just. You will see me next weekend. I'm home next weekend. So you get the old G-Man couch. We get the old G-Man couch for the watch along. So we change it up a little bit next week. And then I'm here for, I think, all the other watch-alongs. I'm back here. So yeah, we've got good times all around. But people, thank you all for locking in. 250 still in the building. Hit the like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe button. And I will chat to you in about 10 to 15 minutes for my post-fight thoughts. Oh, a big up to Jason Hannah, by the way, for all the super chats. And to you as well, Adam, my man. Thank you so much. Matt Borges and then everyone else who donated. Thank yous all so much. I will chat to you later. Peace and love.